Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Signed the Traitors. We're back. We're back in the castle again for season 3 of the Traitors US for our draft and cast assessment. I am your host, Katie. I'm here with my faithful co host, Javier. We are Signed the Traitors, and we're brought to you by Silent Podcasts. We're anything but silent. Javier, how are you? It's been a minute.
Yes, it's been quite a minute. I'm doing well. I'm excited to talk traders again. It's one of my favorite things to podcast about. So I'm very excited to be back. And we'll see what the season has in store for us.
I know, I'm excited. We are joined by a third co-host this season, making the announcement. Isaiah, the man, the myth, the legend himself, is joining us. 8 Ball Bangers. What's up? Welcome to the Traders coverage. I know you've done the drafts with us, but this is like your first official season with us.
Yeah, I'm excited. Look, I don't have anything to talk about right now, so
All right.
I'm really excited. I'm glad that y'all let me join y'all for this. I'm going to be doing 2 podcasts now. It's been a while since I did that, so we'll chat about that like later in the pod, obviously. But very excited to talk traders. I'm into the show. I have a love-hate relationship with it, so hopefully I don't bring things down, but also I hope I bring something new to it.
We can use your chaotic energy. So you can be
Exactly.
our trader. You can be our trader of the season. Cheyenne, we're also joined by you. Welcome. Your first podcast with us on Sign the Traders. It's great to have you here. How are you? How have you been? Welcome.
Thank you. Hello. I'm so excited to be here. I can't wait to talk about these people walking into the breakfast room and their little faces and their eyebrows. So thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. We're excited. We're switching things up a little bit this season. Obviously we brought in Isaiah as our co-host. We're doing a little bit of a different draft crew. But other than that, we're still the same old silent podcast Signed the Traders crew that you're used to. So we're excited to jump into it. So we're going to be spending some time like we do every season looking at the cast. We're going to go through a draft. We're going to talk a little bit about this kind of random group of people for season 3. I don't know if you guys have any like top of your head reactions to this cast. I know when it was announced, a lot of people had some opinions. So maybe we could start with that and then we'll just jump right in.
I don't know how I feel about it, right? It's like I'm in my little bubble of like CBS reality TV. So like every time that they do a Traders cast, I only know like, all right, this person's from Big Brother or Survivor or like the occasional like challenger, I guess, or whatever. So this show is always like interested me because it introduces me to like these different worlds that I wasn't really aware of. I don't know a lot of these people, but I do know a lot of these people, and I know Zac Efron's brother exists, so it's like it's a thing, and I'm very curious to see how this cast pans out.
Yeah, I don't know. This is definitely from the prior 2 casts. This is the first cast where like I know the least amount of people. But if anything, the like seasons, like the civilian seasons of the Traders are always great. So in my mind, this is kind of like the civilian season because I don't know a lot of the people. So maybe they can surprise me and see hopefully some good strategy, some good gameplay, some messiness, So we'll see. But there are some really hard hitters as well that I'm excited to see. So we'll see how this cast goes.
Yeah, what do you think, Cheyenne? Cheyenne, what's your history with the Traders? Tell us a little bit because this is your first time with us here. Have you watched only US? Have you watched some of the other ones? What are your thoughts overall on the Traders in this cast?
Yeah, I've watched just about every season of Traders except for New Zealand because the host was a bit ugh. But otherwise, I'm a big fan of the Traders. I don't usually know everyone on the cast because one, I don't watch Bravo. So I'm usually missing at least half the cast, especially once it gets to the housewives. This season was a little bit more different. If just because there were so many people I didn't recognize, and I was surprised at how many survivors there were. Even if it's only 3, that felt like a lot. But maybe that's just my mind playing tricks on me because Trishelle and CT were together last season. And so they're all starting to like go inside my head kind of because I'm like, with Cerise season, they weren't all celebrities. And so it doesn't seem that very far off to me. It's just like a weird compilation of almost celebrities and a British royal.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing with these British royals. It's like, or these British parliamentary people. It's weird. They had what was his name last season? John?
John.
John? Last season, and now they have some other guy. I didn't do a ton of deep diving on him, but we can talk about it when we get there. If he gets drafted, we'll see. But we'll still talk about him either way. But yeah, I think I agree with you guys. When this season was announced, and I mean when this cast was announced, I was a little underwhelmed because I felt like season 2 was just an all-star crew of everybody. The survivors were great. The Bravo people were great. The Big Brother players were some of the all-time best Big Brother players, biggest names. And then we kind of went from like high to really low, in my opinion, with the season 3 cast. I am a Bravo watcher, so I have thoughts on all of those people too. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes, but I think we have potential for some mess. Cheyenne, I'm like you. I watch the international versions as well. So I actually prefer some of just like the straight up civilian seasons because I feel like we really get to see more gameplay. These celebrity seasons are just like a little different to me, where it's just like just messy reality TV. So to me, they're like 2 totally different shows, but I have fun with both versions.
I completely agree, because just thinking back to the last UK season I saw and the crazy way it ended in Australia, and I'm just like, they will never know. But it's like,
Right.
hey, some of these guys are so strategic. It's like you can only hope that they won't bulldoze everyone. But it's
Right.
also the other side of it is like on the House of Villains side, it's like if there's so many people that are strategic working with people who are not, it won't play out the way they want it to.
That's very true. Very true. Should we get into it? Should we just pull up our tier list? We'll talk about our draft order.
Do
We'll get
it.
into it and we'll dig
Yeah.
into these people one by one. All right. Amazing. I am going to go ahead and share my screen and we can talk about our draft order. So I actually won our draft last season. No big deal with CT. My first pick, by the way. So I will choose the draft order. I have someone that I really want. So I'm going to go first just to make sure I get that person. I think you guys think it's someone, but it's actually going to be someone that you're not expecting. Maybe. I think you guys might have an idea of who it might be, but I don't know. We'll see. And I'm going to go with, let me put my name first. And I think we're
Wait, can we
actually
know
going
the
to
whole
have
draft order?
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm
Alright,
telling you.
I
I'm not
just
going to
need- I
pick yet. I'm
need
not going to
to
pick yet.
think of it.
I think I'm
Yeah.
going to go Javier next. And then I think I'm going to do... I'm going to put Isaiah next because I don't want Isaiah to get 2 picks in a row.
Oh, that's
So
crazy.
we'll do Cheyenne. And then we're going to have a leftover, I think, if my math is correct, for the chat. So you guys will get whoever our leftover 1 or 2 people are. I think I did my math right. We'll only have 1, but we'll see.
Yeah.
The one thing I do want to mention before we get into it, I know you guys didn't get a chance to see the 7-minute preview that Peacock released, but there was a 7-minute preview, which was the first 7 minutes of the episode. And there was a twist announced in the preview, which is why I mentioned that you guys probably if you could take a look at it, but it's not a big deal because we don't know how it plays out. But we do see that everybody shows up to the castle and then they get revealed that Boston Rob is also there. So Boston Rob doesn't show up with everybody. He's like a late addition. And they have to decide if they want to let him in the castle or not. And the person that lets him in the castle, then if they decide, it's like a one person decides, I guess. The person that shakes Alan's hand then can eliminate someone else from the castle. So it's like they will bring Boston Rob in if they decide to, and then they will replace someone else on the cast. And that's where it ends. We don't know if they choose or not, but Boston Rob is in the cast photos. They didn't remove anybody else from the cast photos, so I don't really know what's going to happen there. So just an FYI, we don't know for sure if Boston Rob gets in or not, but he's in the cast announcement. So just an FYI. It was a little bit confusing. I just rewatched it again before we went live, and Alan basically was like, if you decide one person has to come and shake my hand, and then the person that shakes my hand then has to choose to replace Boston Rob with someone else. But I can't tell if it's a vote or if it's like if one person decides to do it. So he didn't really get into the rules. So I'm not sure what to expect here.
Okay.
So just a FYI, I want to make sure everybody has all that info.
Some crazy glazing.
That's a very interesting way to start the season.
Very, very, very interesting. And there were some other good tidbits too. For anybody watching who hasn't seen it, it's on Peacock. It's the first 7 minutes of the episode. We get a little bit of interesting back and forth about with Danielle, Reyes, and Britney coming off of reindeer games, and there's still a little bit of tension there. So that's an interesting dynamic to pay attention to. We get some people who don't want to say hi to Tom Sandoval. We get some fangirling from Caroline Wiggler with Jeremy and Tony. So there's some interesting dynamics at play already. So we'll see where we go.
Right.
But my first pick, I'm between two people, but I know who I really want. And I'm taking Jeremy Collins. I think he's going to smoke this cast. I think Jeremy is an amazing player. Let's talk about him a little bit. I'll pull up his picture. We have the Peacock website here. Apologies for having to like scroll through this live for anybody watching. I had this all played out in my head and it didn't work out the way I thought it would. So now we have to just do it this way. So Jeremy, two-time Survivor player, three-time Survivor player. One-time winner. He was on Winners of War. He's just an amazing. I find Jeremy to be a really great player. I think he's very cool. I think if Boston Rob does come into the castle, I think he's immediately gonna suss Boston Rob out and not let Boston Rob take control. So that was like really where my mind. I think he also obviously knows how Tony plays. He's played with Tony before. I think Tony is a force to be reckoned with, and I think Jeremy won't let people get one over on him. I think he's super smart. I think he would play as a really great traitor and a really great faithful. So I think in either position that he's in, he's going to do great. So he was my number one pick. As soon as I saw him in the cast, I was like, that's my guy. I want Jeremy.
I'm such a hater because I'm sitting here like, no one's picking Jeremy. I'm good.
You thought I was going to pick Danielle Reyes, didn't you?
I thought he was picking somebody that wasn't Jeremy. I was like, no one's picking Jeremy. Jeremy is my favorite Survivor winner and / player. And I love Jeremy Collins. I think he is basically fit to be good in like any game. I think he is such a good player. I thought he was completely robbed in his first season because of the twist. Obviously, he was looking out for his wife. The second time, such a dominant game in second chances. The war he went with Kelly Wentworth was crazy. Still did great. And then even in Winners at War, I mean, he didn't have the best outing. He was kind of like he had a crutch from the start with like the whole Natalie thing, but he was still good. Like Jeremy's dope, man. And not even just Rob, but Tony. I mean, not just Tony, but he's played with Rob as well. Obviously, I just think that he just has the type of personality that he's like the family man, and everyone's just going to vibe with him unless he does something that I think he's going to do great in challenges. Amazing social player, decent strategist. I'm very excited to see Jeremy in this. I hope he's a faithful. I think he would do a very good job as a faithful. And what a steal of a first pick. I'm very jealous. I wanted him. I was like, Jeremy's locked for my team, and he's gone. I'm very sad about it.
Yeah, I feel like he's a little bit of a sleeper. Like, I just don't, I feel like with personalities like Tony, who's such a big personality, like Boston Rob, if he does come in, Jeremy's going to be able to fly under the radar a little bit with these other really big threats, especially with like a Danielle Reyes too. Like, no, I'm obviously not sleeping on her. She would have been my other number one pick if Jeremy wasn't. She was the other person I was going between. But I just think he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. Cheyenne, are you familiar with Jeremy? What do you think about Jeremy?
Oh, yeah. I was like, why did you say we wouldn't expect it? Because looking at the board, I'm like, Jeremy's that guy. He's subtle. He's not going to be taken advantage of. He's not going to be looked at too hard. I think that all the women honestly have a disadvantage just because people don't like women. So I wouldn't have picked Danielle first. I think that's a solid first pick.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think Jeremy is a great pick. I feel like I'm very Survivor adjacent. Like, since I'm like in the Big Brother world, I see a lot of tweets about just reality TV, but a lot of Survivor, and I've watched a few seasons. I haven't seen any of Jeremy's seasons, but seeing like Jeremy, Tony, and Rob, like I know those three faces of like those individuals, and I think Jeremy from those three will be can fly under the radar the best. I think Tony being a two-time winner is already going to put a target on his back. And Rob has just been on every reality show ever. I literally see him all the time. So I feel like he's another well-known name. And I feel like on these celebrity seasons, the more well-known you are, the more likely you are to go out early. And I think that Jeremy can use that to his advantage when it comes to like the other survivors, since there are multiple there. So I think it'll be interesting to watch him play. And this will be my first time watching him play one of these games. So I'm excited to see, because I have heard a lot of good things about him.
Awesome. Any last thoughts on Jeremy? I'm excited. I think he was one of the people I was most excited to see announced because we don't really get to see him do a lot of these other types of games. Like we've really only seen him play Survivor. So I'm excited to see how his gameplay and his skills will translate over to the Traitors. And generally, I feel like Survivors kind of do better on the Traitors generally than past Big Brother players that we've seen. Unfortunately, both season 1 and season 2, Survivor has dominated Big Brother a little bit.
If I got on the show, I will want to shape my game to be like Jeremy. He's amazing. That's all I gotta say.
Oh my God, I had no idea you were such a Jeremy fan. I'm glad I went first time.
That's my guy. Yeah, I'm sick.
It's like no one has a complaint about Jeremy, like ever. He's
Right.
like Superman.
No.
He's humble. He's kind. He's a family man. He's smart. He's bald. I mean, maybe that's if someone saw if someone saw Xavier, there is a little bit of like sinister to baldness. No offense. So, might be something.
Interesting. I'm gonna think about that. Javier, you're up. Who are you thinking?
Wow. So this was very easy for me to pick. This is like, I unfortunately don't think this person is gonna win the show, but they are an icon. They're a legend. They're a star, and I'm picking Bob, the drag queen from Drag Race.
Tell me about Bob.
I absolutely love Bob. Bob is like one of the faces of Drag Race. They like dominated season 8, which was the season they won of Drag Race. They are just so thoughtful, so well spoken, so eloquent, so like, just Bob. And they are also like hilarious, and they're a comedian, and I just feel like they're gonna get along well with everyone. And I'm hoping they don't suffer the same fate as Peppermint did, because that really hurt me last season. And unfortunately, the Drag Race girlies have not done great on the Traitor seasons I've seen of them. So, but I'm hoping that Bob could turn it around for them, because Bob is I just think Bob has a lot of potential. And I think Bob is very like keen on like social strategy shows. Like, cause I listen to their podcast with Monet, another drag queen, on sibling rivalry. And they talk a lot like about like Survivor at times and Traitors and all the other shows. And they're actually pretty astute as well into like how these game shows work. And even though they were on a different type of reality competition show, I just think Bob has so much potential, and I can see Bob really working well as a traitor or a faithful and making a lot of great bonds. And I have a lot of hopes for Bob, and I'm excited to see them on the show.
I love it. I don't know. I mean, Drag Race is my blind spot, unfortunately. That is one show that I haven't dug into just because there's so much and it's so hard to know like where to jump in and where not to. But I take your word for it. I know we've talked about Bob before, and you also educated me about Peppermint last season too. So I'm excited to see Bob play. If you're excited, I'm excited. Sorry, Cheyenne, go ahead.
Oh yeah, same here. Huge Bob fan. Watched every season of RuPaul's Drag Race since its conception. Shout out to my mom for that one. But I only hope that like Bob enters as Bob, or well, that's not even their name.
Yeah,
my fear is yeah. Well, it's not their like legal name, which is so weird. But yeah, I hope that if they play as like the player, they may be well off. But if they're really loud and bombastic and then, settle in after a couple of days, the number one thing the traitor will say to deflect is, oh, you were acting so different. When we first met you, you were blah, and now you're blah. And it's like, I can definitely see that happening with Bob.
It's a good point.
Go ahead, Katie. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I was agreeing.
Oh no, I have no history with Drag Race, but the few names that I am aware of, this is one of them. I've heard of Bob plenty, and I've only heard good things. So good pick. I do think that after the stuff that happened with Peppermint last season, I think the season's going to go a little bit different. And I'm going to be real with you. I think the producers are going to make Bob a traitor. That's me. I feel like they're trying to make up for the nonsense last season. I think Bob's going to be a traitor. That's I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. But good pick.
I'm hoping we don't have anybody like Trashelle in this season who's just going to target. That's been her nickname for like ever. I didn't make it up. I can't take credit. But I'm just hoping we have a more open-minded group that's not just going to like brigade on Bob at the beginning, and we can actually see Bob play. I'm excited.
I will say,
I do think it's.
Yeah. No, you go ahead, Cheyenne, first.
Oh, I do think it's fun to note that Bob is a comedian. And comedians have done well in other seasons for the most part. The two
the only
others.
thing I think the only thing I'm gonna add about Bob is that Bob is very opinionated and very like steadfast. Like when they have an opinion, they will fight down. So I am so excited to see Bob at the round table, because if Bob is allowed to like campaign, like Bob is one of those people, like I've also watched every season of Drag Race US, and like I've watched a lot of international seasons, and Bob would just be so amazing on like reality TV shows. Like I feel like Bob can do a lot of politicking, and I think that if Bob can do that at the right time, it can really be to their benefit. And I just know they're going to be they're going to do a great job at the round table. So I'm very excited to see Bob in this game.
I'm excited. You guys have me hyped on Bob.
Yes.
I'm excited.
He's so funny.
Bob fans go by bobblehead, so we'll turn you into a bobblehead.
Oh my God, I love bobbleheads. Okay, turn me into a bobblehead, Bob. Let's do it. I love it. I love that.
That's the Bob stands.
Love it. Isaiah, you're up.
So
who are we going with?
My plan is out the window because I really wanted Jeremy. So I'm going with vibes here, and I'm going to pick Tony Blancos here with this pick, because this is a wild card pick, because I feel like I've seen two sides of Tony, technically three, but two of the three times Tony's a very chaotic figure. I don't see any spy bunkers or spy shacks being created in the Traitors manner, but I think Tony has proven one thing to me, and is the willing to be experimental and adapt and do as many things as possible, no matter what it takes. Tony's crazy, but I think his winning game in Winners at War has shown me that he is more than willing to dial that back and be patient, be relatable. I think it seems like he's a good conversation with people. Obviously, super athletic guy. He's won many competitions. He's a 2-time Survivor winner. That's no fluke, I am impressed with Tony in Survivor. I know a lot of people hate on Tony. I'm a Tony fan, and I think his biggest strength is you don't know what to expect from Tony, because he just does whatever. I don't know what to expect from this guy. He can either do super bad or super good, so I'm interested to see what Tony brings to the Traitors. There's no Sarah Lacina's this time, so let's see what happens. But I like Tony. I hope he wins. I would love to see Tony as a traitor or a faithful. I think he could do pretty well in either spot, so I'm here for it.
Yeah, I think Tony's a great pick, and I saw his first season of Survivor, one of the few seasons of Survivor I've seen, and like he kind of dominated that season of Survivor. So I do know there's a lot of differing opinions on Tony online. Again, being like Survivor adjacent, I've seen a lot of different tweets about him and his gameplay. But I don't know. I think being a 2-time winner puts you in like one of any of these shows, like Big Brother, Survivor, etc. Like if you win, it's a challenge. Any of these shows multiple times, I do think that says a lot about your ability to play these type of games. So I do think Tony's going to be a huge threat. So I think Tony's going to have a huge target on his back as well. So I don't know. I don't know if I see a win for Tony. He's going to really have to maneuver his way on, just because I do think he's one of the bigger names on the show. So I am interested to see how he adapts to this type of game.
See, Javier, I would agree with you, but then the last 2 seasons, they let people like CT and Serene win. True. So I'm just like, okay. True. Like logic's going out the window. I might as well just go with it. I keep trying to be like, all right, this person's too big. I'm not going to draft them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do what I feel like doing this time. Let's see how it works.
I like that strategy. I could see it either way. I think I was trying to think about it too, Isaiah, when you were talking about and especially what you're saying, Javier, like the players that have done well in this game in the Traitors have been players that have a lot of gaming experience, but then we also have seen players who have a lot of gaming experience do really poorly, like Dan last season, like Cody season before, like Rachel Riley didn't do very well at the Traitors. Even Parv didn't do great last season, which partially is because of Dan, partially on her own. So I think it really could go either way with Tony. I don't know if Tony's going to treat this more seriously. Not that he didn't treat Survivor seriously, but like you said, Isaiah, I feel like Tony is a chaotic, crazy player at times. I don't know if he's going to come in more serious and stoic in this game, or if he's going to just be crazy Tony and do a little too much. I can see Tony going really far, or I can see Tony being with a Jeremy, and if Boston Rob comes in, and Caroline, who is a Survivor runner-up, like they're familiar with the game. There's a lot of survivors, Cheyenne, like you said. So I don't know if people are going to just be, if they're going to want to work together and stick together, or if they're going to say like, we can't keep Tony around for too long. We got to get him out of here. I really feel like it could be like a coin flip with Tony. I think it's a good pick, but I think it's risky.
I think it's really interesting because, like, thinking about it, part of what got CT to go so far is that Bananas was sent home immediately. And so I wonder if Jeremy and Tony will benefit from that, or if one of them will have to be the Bananas anyways. Because I can definitely see Tony going into the game and being earnest and like open and serious with the people in the game, and then being like a sniving little weirdo in the back, like trying to mess with people, hiding things, maybe doing a fake message. And I can definitely see a path for him, especially if he started faithful and then turned traitor. The way I could see him running this entire game by getting the other traitors out as well is like very primo game I can see for Tony. I'm so jealous of all the first picks. But I do think that if Rob's not getting in, Tony or Jeremy, one of them will have to go for the longevity of the other.
Yeah, I agree. I don't see a world where they all make it far together. Like, I think there will definitely be at least one or two of them, if Rob gets in, sacrificed early, for the other one to be able to go far. I do see one survivor making it far, one going early. It's just a matter of who that is. But I totally agree with you. Right, Cheyenne, you are up. You get 2 picks because we're snaking. So you get 2 back-to-back picks.
Oh my gosh.
So choose
okay.
wisely.
This is so crazy. So I'm the first pick, I'm going to go completely head over heart. I'm going to pick this person because I genuinely think that they'll be a person that no one ever thinks to talk about. So I'm going with Dolores. She's a Real Housewife.
Interesting.
I just
pick.
Googled her. Dolores Catania. I'm going to break into that housewife mold. I believe that even if they do decide to throw someone off the island, that it won't be her. I think that she has had a good impression on some of the other housewives of her season. And I just saw Teresa on House of Villains, and they used to hang out. So I'm like, if someone so weird with like a criminal background can be loving to another person, I feel like Dolores could win Traitors.
Yeah, I think this, out of all the housewives here, she's by far the only pick, actually. I don't think any of the other ones have a shot. I think Dolores, as a Real Housewives girly, she is a Real Housewife of New Jersey, and Real Housewives of New Jersey is very weird without getting into all the history of it. But there's like 2 factions. There's Teresa's faction, and then there's Melissa's faction. I'm a tree hugger. It's problematic. I know. Don't come for me, chat. But Dolores and Teresa have known each other for like their whole, like, they grew up together. And Dolores was very easily able to play the middle person and get along with everybody, where like the Melissa side and the Teresa side wouldn't even film together. Dolores was the only one that would like bring them together. So she truly is able to play Switzerland. She's able to get along with everybody. But do not cross this woman because she has a temper. Look it up. She goes off if she needs to. She's from Patterson. I'm not from Jersey, but apparently that means something. So she's very interesting. I think she's one to watch. I think she's very cool and collected until she's not cool and collected. So I think if someone, talks to her the wrong way or comes for her in the wrong way, she will hand it to them at the round table. I just worry that she's not going to understand the game. That's my only concern about Dolores. I think if she understands the game, she'll do really well. If she doesn't do any research coming in, I think she's going to be like, she has the potential to be like an MJ. Even though MJ was actually kind of decent, but I think she could get to the end and have like no shot at winning.
Yeah,
man, we will see. I kind of have a little internal beef with the Housewife Bravo universe. The last season they pissed me off because
you're not ready for the Bravo fandom.
I'm not, because this little, and I hope they don't bring this crap in here again. This little thing where they just have this unspoken alliance that we're sticking together no matter what really annoyed me, and I was just like, what? Where is your logic? I don't even want to talk about it. I'm so sorry. I hate it last season. I'm just letting y'all know right now. But
that's how I'm gonna win.
It's good though. It's a good strategy, and it seems like they're locked in. So why not do it again? So this could be a very good pick for you, Cheyenne. I'm not familiar with Housewives, but I after what I saw last season, it wouldn't surprise me she did well. So good pick.
Well, House of Villains, they did stick together. We had Larsa, former Traitors alum,
Larsa.
and
Larsa
Teresa. I'm done with Larsa on television, by the way. We need to just be done with Larsa Pippen in general as a society. But she and Teresa did stick together sort of on House of Villains, even though she did stab Teresa in the back a little bit. But I could see it happening here. I think the group of housewives is a little weird this season. It's a random group, but I do know she and Dorinda have a relationship because Dorinda's from New York, she's from New Jersey. They're both kind of long-standing housewives, so I wouldn't be surprised if those two work together, which actually could be a very bad thing for Dolores.
I unfortunately do not know anything about Dolores. I don't watch Housewives. I will wait and see what she has to bring. I know one of the housewives just because the only ones that I know are usually the ones that go viral on Twitter, and I haven't seen a Dolores viral moments, so I literally don't know anything about her. So we shall see. I think the housewives are probably going to stick together again. They seem to always do decently on this show. So, and I trust Katie's opinion on the housewives. So if Katie's telling me that she has potential, I believe you, Katie. So we shall see.
I have some crazy housewives opinions, Javier. I don't know if you want to fully trust my housewives opinions.
You're the only person.
For another podcast. All right. I think she's a good pick. I think of all the housewives, she is the pick.
Awesome. I just picked her. That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. So my next pick is going to be the other Bob. Biggest Loser Bob.
Yes.
Yes.
Tell me why. This came out this is out of left field for me.
Yeah, he's such a random placement, but I'm honestly not going off of the person, but I am going off of the stereotypes that I found throughout watching these seasons. Wow, I sounded so Southern. But typically there is maybe because one, there's not many guys, there's usually only 3 or so men that really are needed to win the money. And that's how the women usually think in these types of shows. And so if I'm looking at the men of this season, the one that looks like they could be helpful without being a super threat with connections would be this Biggest Loser guy, because he's not affiliated with anyone else, or so we think.
I like
he's
that.
He's kind of famous too. He's a little more famous.
He's famous.
I would assume so. You don't Biggest Loser was one of those shows where it's you don't really have to watch every episode to just kind of watch it. You know what I'm saying? He was one of those faces. I don't even remember anything about the Biggest Loser. I remember him screaming at big people a lot though. So he was that. He was a trainer. But
he was a trainer, and then he became the host.
Yeah.
Okay. See, listen. I think. I mean, he looks a lot older. Yeah.
He's
probably
he's a lot 50s,
older now.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I thought he was a contestant.
As long as he's not screaming at people, he'll do good. He's going to do good in comps or something, But this guy was toxic on the on the show. But I feel like he's he was also. Yeah, it is. But he was a nice guy at the same time, So it's
Can I change my pick?
Well.
Oh, you don't like that he was a coach?
No, I thought he was a contestant.
Oh, isn't it better if he was a coach? No,
I don't want some problematic, angry guy.
No, he was really nice though. He was really nice. He was just one of those tough love type people, screaming at you while you're working out, like a sergeant. But he was a nice guy. He had good intentions. He helped people lose weight. You know what I'm saying? He was still a nice guy. He did a lot of screaming. So
he also survived the Widowmaker heart attack, which kills everybody. I feel like so he survived a pretty major health issue and came back from it. So he's faced adversity.
And he could do good at competition. That's a reason to keep a guy around, don't cause any trouble and do your job, and you end up like CT, So there you go.
Are you familiar with him?
May
Javier?
I or may I not change my pick?
No.
I think we're locked in.
I don't think so.
I think it's a good pick. I don't think it's a bad pick.
I still think you made some good points about him, Cheyenne, and I think that's like what will make him, he's the first time we've seen someone from The Biggest Loser on this show. Being from a less, reality competition-esque show could probably work to his advantage. But again, I don't know him. I never watched The Biggest Loser. But we shall see how he does, because these people from these shows that don't automatically put a target on your back can give you the potential to do well. So
I feel like he's become almost like more, yes, he's from The Biggest Loser, but like I feel like he's almost more of just like a media personality at this point, which like is good because he'll have to be able to get along with people and be able to kind of like politic a little bit. Like in order to be successful in that world, I feel like you have to have a personality that can mesh well with people. So I think he's going to do pretty well. Especially if he's a faithful. Like I think he'll be good. I mean, we'll see.
He's a lot older than what I remember too. Like I think he'll be okay.
Yeah, I don't know how old he is. Probably, I'm guessing
59.
50s.
He's 59. I just checked. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, older than I thought. Okay.
He was on an episode of RuPaul's Drag Race.
Oh, really?
Oh, okay. So maybe it was the other Bob. I don't know.
Not the Bob Alliance.
Bob Alliance. Bobbleheads in the castle.
Yeah, he did a coaching episode. That's crazy. Okay.
Oh, interesting.
Sir?
That's interesting. Okay. All right, Isaiah. This worked out for you, I feel like.
Not really.
Why not?
There's a little bit of a stink on Big Brother, Yeah,
it's there's a little bit of a stink.
Big Brother sucks. And the people that are coming in have some beef. So we'll get there when we get there. But I'll pick Danielle, because why not? Like, listen, Danielle, best player never to win Big Brother. One of my favorite players of all time. Extremely intelligent, extremely manipulative. She's one of the best villains ever. I'm a little worried. I don't think she's gonna do good. I hope to God Danielle doesn't watch this, because I love Danielle Reyes so much. But listen, I think Danielle makes horrible decisions in every single showing she's ever had. Completely lost the first season by I don't even want to talk about Big Brother 3. She threw it. She messed up. All right, she messed up. Second time around, she actually did very good, but she got played by Dr. Will in Chilltown. It is what it is. And then, skip ahead a little more, we got Reindeer Games. And she's just like, for some reason, trying so hard to work with Britney and Nicole. Why? Why are you turning on my people? There was a Black Alliance, and she's trying so hard to work with Britney and Nicole. And guess what the hell happens? You got played. So it's just like, you're coming in here with this stink again. And now I don't think she's going to have she's going to drop it. But I feel like there's going to be in the back of her mind. And I think Danielle just goes out of her way to just do shit sometimes. And I don't understand why she does it. And listen, no one else on the internet is going to say this. I'm the only one who's going to say this shit, because everyone loves Danielle. I love Danielle, but she makes horrible decisions. And I'm just I'm worried, because it's don't embarrass me again. I've been screaming forever that I need Vesepia, Suri, or Danielle to win something. Look, Suri, she got her dub. You know what I'm saying? Came back in Big Brother. She should have just retired. She messed up again, whatever. But it's
that was very
back again in Survivor Australia with Park.
I know. But Danielle, do not embarrass me again, bro. And it's I know she's going to do great in comps, but don't embarrass me again. Big Brother sucks on the Traitors, and I'm so tired of it. And I'm not even going to talk about what rumors I've been hearing, because that's a whole nother story. That's a different podcast for a different day.
Oh,
but
I don't even know what that's about.
I went, you're not going to be happy about it. Don't talk. Danielle, don't embarrass me. But I'm excited she's here, and I'm very excited that she's on my team. So shout out Danielle. Black Widow is back. We're being fed. Yeah.
She's not going to win, but...
She's not. Don't embarrass me.
Javier, what are your thoughts on Danielle or Isaiah's really great monologue? I loved it.
I'm sorry. I talked to
I agree.
No, it was great. It was great.
I agree with Isaiah on the point that like I think Danielle, you know, she's the best to never win Big Brother. She's like amazing at Big Brother. She, you know, just like everyone who hasn't won Big Brother, they all have a fault, unfortunately, and she hasn't won yet. But maybe she can do the Suri turnaround and win. Because Suri was also considered one of the best to never win Survivor, and look at that, she came on Traitors and dominated. So we shall see how Danielle does. I'm excited to see her play. I love watching Danielle maneuver these social strategy games. I think, you know, if she can work past the beef with Britney and like just make some good connections, I can see her doing well. I hope she's not a traitor. I think her being a traitor will definitely put her at a disadvantage just because just the Big Brother players don't know how to be traitors for some reason. But
save it.
We shall see how she does, and I'm excited to see her play at least. So hopefully she does well.
So what makes her one of the best to never win?
Season 3 should have been her season.
But after that, you know?
Well, you make a good point because
Danielle is an amazing.
No, it's been a little worse since then.
It's getting worse and worse and worse.
We ain't gonna do that. Danielle, listen. Danielle, she made it fall. All right, but listen. To be fair, she got screwed over by the fact that the jury could see the things, right?
They literally changed the game because Danielle lost because the jury was not sequestered. Like she changed the game of Big Brother.
She lost the second time against the best alliance in Big Brother history. So it's like, the best duo in Big Brother history. All right. So it's like, I can't get mad for you getting played by Dr. Will. That's the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is.
I'd be honored.
It happened. All right. Like, it happened. Don't put no stink on Danielle's name on this podcast, Cheyenne. That's crazy.
I'm just saying.
Crazy.
I'm just asking what makes
She's
her
a good strategist. She is. She knows how to manipulate and backstab. That's a problem. She's just a villain. Like, she's a lovable villain. Everybody loves Danielle after the fact, but like people usually like dislike her during. I'm hot take. Danielle is going to do something to piss off the Twitter fandom this season. And everyone is going to turn on her, and I know it's going to happen. I'm preparing for it. You should too. But like, I'm going to stick beside her, bro. Like, shout out Danielle. That's it. I'm crashing out for Danielle this season. I know it's happening.
Danielle is my second favorite Big Brother player. My first favorite Big Brother player is Dr. Will. So I feel like, you know, I can't fault her for getting played by Dr. Will. I think he controversially he's my favorite winner, but I think Isaiah, I agree with you. Chilton was the best duo of all time in Big Brother, and I can't get mad at her for that. I do feel like Danielle does get in her own way. And I think she's going to get in her own way in this castle. I don't think there's a world where she wins. I'm excited to watch her play. I think she's a great Big Brother player. I agree with everything you said, Isaiah. She's fun to watch. She understands strategy. She's a really exciting villain who's like not a problematic villain. She's like a fun villain that you want to root for, like almost like an anti-hero kind of almost. But I just don't see it. And in that preview that they released, I know you guys didn't see it, but they were still like, the majority of the preview was about how she was still upset over Britney and Reindeer Games, which was like not even a real game. So like, I don't know. I don't think it's going to go well for them. And I do agree that if she's a traitor, it's over. Like, I just don't she's going to be an obvious traitor if they pick her. And I just don't see it going well for her, but I'm excited that she's here. I want it to go well for her. I just don't know if it will.
Yeah. I would love for things to go well.
Yeah. I love her. I think she's great. I just don't see it. On the cards, but you can't not pick her. You can't not pick her.
She's winning. All right,
I mean, none of us did.
Yeah.
But
she's winning.
I hope so. I would be happy with it, other than my draft picks, of course. But
I will say there would be no Vanessa season 17 if there was no Danielle Reyes. You know, like there is a certain
any of these people without her.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
Yeah.
I
just don't think that she's able to connect to others as well as we would like.
I kind of agree with you, Cheyenne, on that too. I don't see her like meshing well with I think she's going to pick the wrong people to align with. I don't think she's going to align with like the non-strategic people. Well, even that,
all right, we get it.
Just generally the wrong. Yeah, she's
Yeah, we get
even
it.
the wrong white people.
Yeah, Danielle, though. Yeah. Let's move on to the next pick.
But I do also one last point about
Yeah.
Danielle. I know we're talking. She's just one of the biggest personalities. To talk about the feud in a more positive way, we saw that with Sandra and Parvati, and we all were worried about it, and then it went nowhere. So and they like squashed it. So I think maybe they're just doing it for like clicks or views or whatever, and it's gonna be fine. So
Britney's
we'll
not
see.
going to let that. Okay, listen, we'll get to her in a second too. We'll go ahead.
Okay, we'll see. Well, Javier, who's your pick?
All right. So my next pick, I don't know if this person is controversial, but I'm gonna pick her anyways because I to me she's controversial because I watched her show and I have maybe like not what I feel is not the common opinion of her, but I'm gonna pick Chelle from Selling Sunset.
All right, tell me about her because she's everywhere, but I don't know anything about her.
Yes. So Chelle is like Selling Sunset is a reality TV show where they sell like homes in LA and whatever. But anyways, Chelle is just she's kind of the main character of the show. But she has this way to make everyone root for her, and I don't know how else to play it, but she is good at kind of playing the victim at times and turning people against someone else. And she does it perfectly on Selling Sunset. Like my favorite character on Selling Sunset is the person who she beefs with the most, who ended up leaving the show, who's like regarded as the villain of the show. And I loved her. And then Chelle was always like, Chelle would act like, oh, woe is me. But then Chelle would be shady in the back and everyone would support Chelle just because she has like this like sweet persona that like people were for some reason drawn to. So I just think Chelle's going to do a very good job of like going under the radar, making people like her. But also like she can make people villainize others really easily. So if she wants to turn the house on someone, I can see Chelle do that just because I saw her do it on Selling Sunset all the time throughout the seasons that I watched of her. So I do think Chelle's going to do well on this show, just because she has a way with people that just, I don't know how she does it. Like she just slimes her way through stuff and everyone just says, oh, Chelle's great. So I think she's going to do really well. And like, I didn't love her on Selling Sunset, but I see a bright future for Chelle.
Any other thoughts on Chelle? Are you guys familiar with her?
I don't know who this is.
Oh, Cheyenne, you're on mute.
Nah, but that's it.
Sorry. Yeah, I was agreeing. I don't know her, but she was going to be one of my random picks. I did decide to go out with Dolores because I saw Teresa in her in her news article snippet on Google. But yeah, I think she's an awesome choice. I can definitely see her kind of navigating the house just based off of her framing photo, you know? Like some of these people are looking so uncomfortable in the frame, and she's very much like the winner, you know?
It's true.
So I think it's a good one. Good pick.
Thank you.
I don't know her. I know her name. I know who she is. I didn't watch her show, so I don't know anything about her personally, but I know that she's like very much in this reality TV world. Like she has a lot of reality TV connections. So I think based on nothing else other than knowing that about her, that she'll do a good job making connections in the house or in the castle or whatever. So I can see her being a sleeper pick here. Like she could even be something. I don't know her personality, but like maybe even like a Chelle who made it further than a lot of us thought she would or should have. So she could go far. There's always like that random one that makes it far. This could be her.
I actually think Chelle's a good comparison for her, but Chelle has never, funny enough, their names sound similar. She has never been on like I knew Chelle because I've seen her play these type of games, but I can see like Chelle being similar in the sense that like people are just not going to see through past her. Like I'm telling y'all just need to watch Selling Sunset, and this might be an unpopular opinion, but like I really think people aren't able to see past the like niceness and like the sweet demeanor that she has, and I think that's going to be a real positive for her on this show.
Okay,
she can
weasel.
Interesting.
She can weasel, y'all. I'm telling y'all.
We love a good weasel.
I'm excited to see it.
I'm excited to see it too. Okay, I have two picks. I have to be totally honest with you guys. I don't know who I'm picking. So I'm going for just totally random here. Not totally random, but I'm gonna go with Britney. because I just feel like it would be wrong not to go with Britney in this moment. Isaiah, I'm taking all of your points on why Big Brother players are not good at this game. I agree that Big Brother players are not good at this game. There's only 2 of them where there's 4 survivors. There's like 100 people from Bravo this season, whether they're housewives or not. But I think Britney has a really good personality. I think she's really funny. I think that she can do a really good job connecting outside of the competition reality world with some other people. And I think that could play to her advantage. Like, I don't think she's going to be like pigeonholed into this competition reality big threat. She also hasn't won. So she doesn't really come like super close to winning. So I don't think that makes her super, like someone that people would want to get, like a threatening player. So I think she could use that to her advantage as well. So I think she'll do well here. I also think it could be good for her to have this feud in with Danielle in her back pocket, to pull out, like if she wanted to go for Danielle for any reason or something, or get her out. Could be something good to just like throw out there. So I don't know. I have high hopes for Britney. I think she'll do well. I hope she does well, but who knows?
I mean, obviously, Britney, amazing diary room character. So I'm very excited just for that. She's so entertaining. I think Britney is one of the most underrated strategists in Big Brother. I think she is an amazing player. She just so happens to always go against some of the most dominant groups of people every time she's played. Brigade and Dan Giesling is no easy feat. And, it took Dan to do the greatest move of all time just to get her out. So I think she's very dangerous coming in here, because not only is she very familiar with the show, but I'm pretty sure her, just like Rachel and Janelle, are familiar with stuff like Bravo TV and Bachelor and all that stuff. So she's going to know a lot of these people. She's usually a girl's girl, so she likes to vibe with the girls, but she also hangs with the guys. And I don't ever see Britney being in a situation where you're like, we need to take Britney out. The biggest problem with Britney, I mean, I know this whole Danielle thing is being highlighted. I don't think it's going to be a big deal, but when she gets paranoid, she is very emotional, and not in a good way, where like she just spirals, So I worry seeing someone like Britney in the hot seat at a round table, and I don't know how she's going to handle that if she gets accused or if she has to vote somebody. She gets very flustered very quickly, that's always been her weak spot. So we'll see how that goes, but I am very excited to see Britney Haynes there, one of the best television characters around. And if this is the last time we get to see Britney, let's make it great. So shout out Britney.
2 times in a year we get to see Britney and Danielle. Like, how exciting is that?
Awesome.
A little more than a year, I guess, but whatever. Who's counting?
Yeah. It's funny because I had the exact same thought about Britney. Like, she's a great player. She'd get along with everyone, but I cannot imagine her sitting at the round table and finding the words to defend herself. I just see her getting frustrated and mad and like, you guys, with her little ponytail. So that's why I didn't choose her. But I am a big fan of the girls, big fan of Danielle, Britney, Jeremy, Tony.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she does.
I hope she's a
I
traitor.
really like,
that'd be so cool.
I really like Britney as a personality, and I do think she's also solid at Big Brother. I agree with Isaiah, like she's been put in like pretty rough situations with like the other people on the cast. But I do agree with Cheyenne as well. Like, I feel that Britney will not be good at hiding her emotions at the round table. And I think that if she gets attacked, she will attack back, and that will look bad on her. Because the reason why I think people like Britney so much is because she's so witty. She has a quick mouth, and everyone likes people like that who can just have a quick comeback, a good like attack. And I think Britney's good at that. But I think if she allows that to get in her way, it will be a detriment to her. And then again, she's from Big Brother, and we see how these people do on the Traitors. So that's another point. -10 for Britney as well. So, but I'm excited to see her. I know she's going to give us some great one-liners, some good TV, hopefully. And I can see her getting in because she's a very social player as well. And I think she'll be very well liked by a lot of the castmates. So we'll see how she does, but I don't see a win for her, unfortunately.
Question.
Yes.
I don't know if I should be talking about what I feel like. There's like a rumor going around. It's not spoilers, it's alleged. But it's like, I don't know if I should be talking about this now or if I should wait a couple podcasts. Like, Do you want me not say anything?
I think I
don't know any spoilers.
what you're alluding to.
I don't know any.
Is it something that
about
maybe happens later?
Something with the
game?
cast. Yes.
Yes. We have not addressed this, but there are things out there that a few people may enter the game later that are not on this cast list. Since they're not here.
Okay.
I don't know. It's up to you guys. It could be a spoiler for people, maybe not. I don't know. They haven't announced anything.
Let's wait.
Okay.
Because if it doesn't happen, then I want to feel stupid.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's confirmed or not confirmed. But there are rumors out there, so just be aware of that if you're watching and listening. That maybe things could change down the line. All right. I have another pick. I don't know. Can I pick this dog? What's the dog's name? I forget. I am going to take I'm going to go with, I have to diversify my group here. I'm going to go Sierra from Summer House. Sierra, I don't know if she's going to do well, but I think she could. I think she is very smart. She's from, are you guys familiar with Sierra? Should I give a little, well, for the listeners and the audience?
What is Summer House?
So Summer House is a TV show on Bravo that is basically about a bunch of people who you think are younger than they are, but they're actually like 40 years old, going to a shared summer house in Montauk, Long Island, and just like renting out the house in the summer and just like throwing parties on the weekend. It's totally vapid. It's very entertaining. If you've heard of like Paige DeSorbo or Hannah, whatever her name is, from Giggly Squad, like they came from that show. They have a really popular podcast now. They bring in people from Southern Charm on Bravo too. Like there's crossovers. So like they're kind of just like a party house show on Bravo, but they're like too old to be partying in a house, in my humble opinion. As an elder, I can say that. So I think she is super smart. She's a nurse by trade, but then now she's a model. She's beautiful. I think she can get along really well with the housewives, probably make good connections with the non-housewives. I think that she just has a good head on her shoulders. My problem with her is that she's slightly boring on Summer House. She spends a lot of time laying in the bed with Paige. They're like besties on the show, and they just literally lay in bed all season. So like, I don't know how much she's actually going to give us on the show, but I think if she is boring, that could maybe work in her benefit because people aren't going to be like, she's not going to do too much to get her targeted, but she could also be an easy murder in the beginning. So I think she could go far. I don't know if she's going to win, but I think out of all the Bravo people, aside from Dolores, she's going to have the best showing. And I want to pick a Bravo person. So she's my pick.
What do they actually do in Summer House?
Nothing. They just party. That's it. And like hang out at a house. They go to dinner. They have parties at their house. She actually, they do like costume parties or theme parties. And she always has a really intense, crazy, but like funny costume. So she's like creative in that way. She's funny. But that's it. I mean, there's really no point to the show. And then there's also Winter House, which she was on, which is where they rent a house in Vermont and go skiing in the winter instead of renting a beach house in the summer. So that's really it. That's all they do. That's it. There's nothing more to it.
We gotta get these people on X on the beach.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know anything about this woman, but I hate to.
She's a weird pick, like random cast person. Like it's random that she's cast.
But I will say this: I think from season 1 we had Kyle from Summer House. Was that his name?
Yes, we did.
I was
Kyle.
a big Kyle fan. I thought it was very perceptive. And if anyone goes back and listens to season 1 of their podcast, like I was like Team Kyle. I thought he was doing a really good job. And so maybe my only connection to this woman is that I know that Kyle was like really interesting, and I thought he was good at the game. So maybe she'll surprise us and also be good at the game.
I actually think she's smarter than Kyle. So I think she could do potentially better than Kyle. I hope.
All right.
Anything else about? No, I know there's not really much to say, but Javier, I'll pass to you.
Oh Lord, I genuinely don't know who to
I know the rest are kind of rough. I gotta be honest.
Who are it's good for the streamers gonna go buy a bit quicker now.
Yeah, we got the heavy hitters out of the way.
I think I'm gonna start picking people based on like prior seasons. So I'm gonna pick someone who is from a show where someone did really well last year on Traitors. They were called the Peter Pals. So I'm gonna pick Wells from Bachelor.
No! Oh my god, bro.
I think Wells is a great pick, by the way.
I genuinely don't know who this man is. He could be walking down the street. I cannot pick him out from anyone else. But you know, Peter did so well on the Traitors. Like that man was like had people around tied around his damn finger, and like he could have easily won the season last year if he didn't let it get to his head. But that's literally why I'm picking Wells. He's from the same show, and that's all I really have to go off on. So hopefully Wells does well for the sake of my team, but I generally have nothing to say. I know Katie watches Bachelor Nation stuff, so maybe you can allude
not anymore, but I did. I did when Wells was on.
Excited to hear your thoughts.
I actually think Wells is a really great pick. Wells was like, he didn't do great on The Bachelor because he was almost just like too normal and not like thirsty enough. Like he was just like a normal guy. And since then, he's gotten together with Sarah Hyland from Modern Family, and
I love Sarah Hyland.
They're married. I think they're married, or they're engaged. I think they're married already. And he also has come back and bartended on Bachelor in Paradise, I think like every season. So he's like a recurring character in the Bachelor world. He probably has a podcast, I don't know, but like he's definitely like in it. And I think that is going to bode really well for him because he's very normal. He's doing well in life. And I just feel like he's going to be like very personable and be able to make good connections with like the guys and probably also the housewives. And I just think he's going to do a good job. Like he seems like he just has a nice normal personality, similar to Peter, but I don't think he's going to have like that weird cult following that Peter had. So I think he's actually going to do better unless people are going to target him just because of how Peter played last season. It's possible. I think it's a good pick.
Yeah. People seem to like be obsessed with the Bachelor people, especially the women usually like not like romantically or anything, but they usually say like, oh, like, yeah, I remember seeing you from this season or something. But yeah, Javier, I was gonna pick Wells because Peter and Ari both did very well. And I feel like this Wells guy, especially I mean, he still made the end though, you know what I'm saying? So it's like they do good, you know,
and
what
quit.
I'm saying? And
literally quit. He could
do good. You know what? He's not my team, so yeah, I agree with you. But no, I think he's going to do solid. Those guys usually seem to do very decent on the show, so we'll see how that goes. Good pick though. I was going to take him.
I just wrote down everyone left in the order that I would like them. So this has just gotten a lot easier.
I always think about doing that ahead of time and then I never do it. But maybe I should. Cheyenne, do you have any thoughts on, I almost called him Peter too. I mean, these guys are
the Peter Pals.
The Peter Pals.
No, I think he's like easily replaceable. I don't know.
Yeah, I think the one thing that's interesting about Wells is that he's never been the lead. Like Peter and Ari both were The Bachelor. He was just a contestant on The Bachelor, which probably worked out better for him in his life. But I don't know if that means like if that's the difference why like Ari and Peter did well because they're like used to trying to get people to like follow their lead. I don't know. Who knows? But I think Wells is a good pick. I think he's really smart and like more normal than the average person you see on The Bachelor.
I mean, and if we can get another Phaedra dragging Wells about roses, that will go down in history again. Like, you know, so
it will.
Maybe we can get another good moment from that.
I hope so.
I'm so excited for the season.
I hope we
even with this weird twist.
Yes, I know. Isaiah, who do you got next?
We
have another Bachelor person on the board too that has not been picked.
I was looking at that person. I'm gonna pick Gabby. I don't know anything about her, but I see she's from The Bachelor and not from one of the other shows that I don't think are gonna do good. So we're going with Gabby here. Shout out Gabby.
Shout out Gabby. She looks so uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's not I don't love the photo. I I don't know a lot about it. This is post my Bachelor Nation stint, very short stint in Bachelor Nation. She was the Bachelorette, but she was a co-Bachelorette with another person, which they always do that
Oh,
with the women. They never
wow.
do it with the men. But people seem to like her. She seems to be popular, like in the fandom. That's all I really know about her. I think she dates women now, which is kind of exciting.
Oh.
But that's it. I don't really know anything. But she was a lead, unlike Wells, who was not a lead.
We need to get a Bachelor podcast in this network, so we have an expert for that.
I know.
I'm gonna have to look into it. Yeah, none of us watched The Bachelor. Sorry, folks. There you go.
Sorry, she's past my time. I think she's a good pick, though. I think she might have also been on Dancing with the Stars. Maybe.
I watched 2 seasons of The Bachelor.
I've tried multiple times because I feel like I would enjoy that type of show, but I just could not get into it.
It's too much. It's not worth it.
This is purely a vibes pick, if you guys can't tell. Yeah,
I think the vibes are vibing for Gabby. I feel good about Gabby. Based on vibes only.
I mean, if we want to talk about track record, she was co-runner-up on her season of The Bachelor, and she was runner-up of Dancing with the Stars. So she has a good track record, Isaiah. So different type of shows, but who knows? Maybe she'll bring that same energy into this show.
I'm with it. Let's do it.
Yeah, your picks are out of control, man.
Listen, I like my team. We're going. I got good vibes. My team's. Listen, I got the winner on my team, so we good.
I don't know.
Maybe
this is like horror blunt rotation. Like couldn't be me. I'll be taking the other D MILF, Dorlinda. I don't know why I said that. I'm sorry.
D MILF. Yeah.
I want to remove that, but I do want to take Dorlinda.
Well,
one of them's going to make it far.
Do you know anything about this woman?
Not at all. She's very pretty.
That's nice of you. I'm not saying she's not, but this is the drunkest woman that's ever been on Bravo. She is a disaster. Well, that's not true. Sonia Morgan is more drunk than her, but she's number 2 drunk on Bravo. She is unhinged. She is volatile. She is angry. She yells at people. And in not like a fun way, like she's actually just a bad person way. Like she's like, ugh, like it's not fun to watch. Like there's something going on with her.
Like Larsa. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a little darker than Larsa. Like it's something in Dorinda that's just like Larsa. I think is like more. She's just I don't know. It's hard to explain it. Larsa's just like deep down a bad person. Dorinda has like a darkness to her inside that's like wanting to come out at all times. I am actually shocked she got cast on the show. I think if they don't control how much she drinks, it's going to get really ugly. And I think the second someone comes for her at the round table, it's a wrap. Like you guys should watch some compilations of her. She's a mess. She got put on pause at Bravo. On pause.
There's like literally nothing about her as a person. It's just like an alcoholic. That's what I'm getting.
Yes, that's basically that's her. Yeah. She gets drunk and then she says things that are crazy that then become catchphrases for her because she's unhinged drunk, but she always says them when she's drunk and then she'll like capitalize. So don't be surprised if you hear I make it nice or I don't know. There's one that's like, I'll tell you how I'm doing, not well, bitch, which actually is my favorite one. She says someone's vagina is like an easy pass or like put an easy pass on your vagina because it's like the Holland Tunnel. Like she's funny, but she's like scary. Like she's scary a little bit.
Wow.
I would not want to be on her bad side. She doesn't let up. She made Tamara, who's also a little bit of a monster, cry on Ultimate Girls Trip. She has a house called Bluestone Manor in the Berkshires, and they had a season of Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, which is like kind of like their all-stars hosted at her house. And her house, Bluestone Manor, is like a thing. So be prepared for a lot of like, oh, this castle's nothing compared to my manor. And like, there's going to be a lot of manor references. There's going to be a lot of make it nice. I don't think she's going far. She's frightening. I hope they make her a traitor though, so she has to defend herself because it's going to get wild. She's going to be the drama. She'll be the drama.
Ooh.
How exciting.
Listen, I have a theory because they kept talking about like 2 of the traitors have to be at least from Big Brother and Survivor, right? So I feel like they're not going to do that this time, and like that opens up her chances, you know. So Let's see. I'm here
I
for the
think
chaos.
she's going to be the personality like Phaedra was a personality last season, but Phaedra's fun and funny, and Dorinda's
Yeah.
dark and scary. Like they're going to think they're going to get the funniness that we got from Phaedra, but instead it's going to be like, ooh, this is actually not fun. It's like, ugh. If they let her drink.
Brief aside, what was Phaedra's what was the thoughts on Phaedra before Traitors? Like, was she always seen as good? Because I saw like a lot of comments that were like, she's crazy.
No. She is a little bit of a scam artist, like by trade. When we did the draft last season, I think I picked her, but I said because she's like basically a criminal by trade. She hasn't gone to jail. She hasn't been convicted of anything.
Isn't she
her
like
husband
married
was.
to medicine?
She is on she's on the show now, but I don't know why, because she's not married to a doctor or anything. Her former husband went to jail for fraud. It was very questionable if she was involved, if she was not. But she's not really a great person. She accused someone of.
Does she lie on somebody?
Yeah, she did. Candy Burris. She accused Candy of trying to drug someone and sexually assault them in her basement, which never happened. So like she got removed from the show for like some pretty gross reasons, Phaedra. So it's actually kind of wild that she had like this resurgence, because she's really not a great person, but she's always been really funny. Like everybody's always loved her. She's always been very funny, but like she's a little like, she has a background that's not so nice and rosy for sure. So that's Dorinda. Anybody else have any thoughts? I know you don't know her, but she is one of the few on this cast that I say go watch some YouTube clips of Dorinda's like greatest hits, and you'll really get to know who she is, and it's wild. She's wild.
Okay.
Dorinda's greatest hits.
I'll find a video. I'll share
with that. Honestly, now I just want to go for fun. So I'm gonna take Carolyn.
Okay.
Oh my God.
You know, I know she's not going to be a winner, but I'm happy to root for her. I want some happiness on my team.
You guys tell me about Carolyn, because I didn't watch this season.
A disaster waiting to happen.
What? I thought she was so well liked. Being Survivor adjacent, she seems so well liked.
I'm not one of them. But go ahead.
She's a runner-up. She got far.
So, Katie, there's two ways to think of Carolyn.
Okay.
One, very genuine, very sweet, able to talk to anyone, be anywhere, just a complete butterfly. But then there's also the crazy, well, not crazy. She's very not crazy, but she has so many weird tics.
You got it right the first time.
She's not crazy because it's like the things that aren't matching up are all almost physical. Like the expressions she makes, the things she does, not necessarily like crazy as in saying batshit crazy things, but she is physically bizarre when talking to others.
So that could maybe not be a great thing for her at roundtables.
Yeah.
So
she's not for this world.
I met her. Very nice woman, by the way. I like Carolyn, right? The Carolyn, the player, first of all, when I get into Survivor, is extremely overrated in the most respectful way possible. And I think everyone thought, myself included, that she would win because everyone likes to follow this dumb thing called Edgic. And she had so many confessionals that season. She's like Britney. She is a confessional machine. So she is just constantly just getting thrown onto your screen, and you're like, there's no way she's not going to win. She's the main character of this. She gets 0 votes to win. And I was like,
she's
what
a 0
the hell?
Finalist.
Yeah, she lost to Jam Jam. And I'm like,
she wasn't very strategic.
Okay, she was not. She's very overrated. I'm sorry. And she is not afraid for confrontation. She's not afraid to be seen as like the oddball. It's very admirable. It's very fun to watch. But in this cast, I don't see her vibing with like any of the Housewives and Bravo people, first of all, because she's very loud. She has like this voice that I see these people not really vibing with it. And then you usually think of like, oh, there's the CBS contingency where they call themselves the gamers or whatever. I don't see the Survivor people, unfortunately, because she's the only Survivor girl here. I don't see the Survivor people respecting her like that. Maybe Jeremy. I see Jeremy, Rob, and Tony like talking to her and everything, but it's like, I don't think she's going to be seen as that. And Britney and Danielle, I mean, we'll see. Like, I just don't know where Carolyn fits in this cast. I'm actually kind of surprised. Like, she is the first CBS adjacent Big Brother Survivor person that's recent get on the show, which was very interesting to see that they chose Carolyn of all people. And I mean, obviously she was great and she's going to be back on the show, but like, I just don't know if this cast specifically is the cast that she needed to be on. I'm very worried for her. Like, she's going to be willing to go out there and try to do the big things she needs to do to win. I just don't know if this cast is going to really give her the opportunity to like be involved in any big groups or like any votes or whatever. Like, she's unfortunately naturally the odd one out. So we'll see how it goes. I hope it works out for her because, like I said, she's a very nice person and she's a great character. But I do think she's so overrated. Everyone glazes Carolyn because she had all these confessionals. I was shocked that she got 0 votes because I was like, I believed in the hype. Everyone was just like, oh, she's going to win. I'm like, damn, I guess she's going to win. And she didn't. She got 0 votes, which was crazy, bro. Like, I don't see her winning. I'm sorry. But we'll see how it goes.
I will say in the 7 minutes that they released, she was trying to get in with Jeremy and Tony. And she was like, you guys don't know me, but I know you. I played Survivor. I'm a huge fan. And she like, they were nice to her, but even she was making herself the odd one out because she's like, you don't know me, but I know you. And it's like, well, you came in second place. Like, you're no slouch. You made it there. Like, I know Jeremy hosts watch parties sometimes. Like, why are you assuming that they don't know who you are? Which I think is actually a really bad way to present yourself to people, especially in a cast with like such heavy hitters for Survivor and Big Brother. So I agree with you, Isaiah. I mean, like, I don't really know her game. I watched like the first 2 episodes of the season, then I tapped out. But I don't know. I don't see it for her. But
listen, she's like a huge fan. She's a huge fan of this of these shows and whatever. So she's gonna know people. She's an Orger, or she was an Orger before going on the show. So that's also another thing. Like, she's fanned out. So like, I get it. She's very unapologetically herself. You know, like, I get it. But I don't know. I just don't see this happening, bro. You know. So we'll see.
I do want to point in here and say, one, Isaiah, it sounds like you're upset about being misled by the watchers and viewers of that season.
No.
Which
I think Jam
has nothing to do with Dear Carolyn.
It had nothing to do with me. I thought Jam deserved to win. That's why I was scared.
Yeah,
that he wasn't going to win.
I didn't know she would.
But Jam won. I was like, okay. So, you know, but like, I just think the fandom is just so obsessed with Carolyn because she's such like an icon that like she gets so overrated.
I don't think she's overrated. I think she is a little insecure. I think that unlike what you said, she does try to hold back. Like, it's not something she enjoys, but she's not always just unabashedly herself. You can see her struggling with holding herself back, which is why I don't think that she'll win. But ultimately, I'm still going to cheer for her.
Listen, she's like opposite Britney. Like she's like the oddball version of Britney. The one thing I do respect about her is that like, she is willing to try whatever she needs to do. Like, she thrived from the bottom in her season, did so well. So like, I'm not closing the door on her. Notice I didn't say that she's not going to win like you. I just think that like, she's going to, if she does, it's going to be hard. I think if she becomes a traitor, that would be very interesting. I think she will actually do much better as a traitor than a faithful because no one's going to take her seriously enough to think she's a traitor. That would be interesting. But I don't know. We have to see. I'm curious to see how this goes out. I want to see what happens.
Javier, do you know anything, hear anything about Carolyn? Do you have any thoughts?
All I know is that Caroline was like the Twitter fave, I feel, to win her season. And I saw like clips of her, and she does seem like she seems like a quirky character who's like unabashedly herself, which I feel like in a game like the Traitors can go to your detriment, unfortunately. So that's all I've seen of her is just clips on Twitter of her, and I've seen a lot of like people really liking her. So maybe that can work for you in the game, but it didn't work for her in Survivor. So we'll see if it works for her on the Traitors.
Yeah, I would compare her to Andy. Like, I'm surprised she got as far as she did, but she had so much love pouring in.
I agree with that comparison.
Interesting.
With that.
Well, Isaiah, who's your next pick?
I feel like I need some housewife energy on my team. Is it Chanel?
Chanel.
I'll pick Chanel.
Okay.
I'll pick Chanel. Robin feels like she's going to be a crash out, so I'm not picking her. But if I got to
Story
pick
of
between
Robin's
the two
life.
of them, I'm picking Chanel.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I'll pick Chanel. I don't know nothing about her. Strictly vibes. I'm picking Chanel.
I actually have to say, I don't watch Real Housewives of Dubai. I don't really know much about her storylines on the show, but she is definitely like the biggest personality that came out of that show. The show's actually canceled because I was not the only one not watching. It sounds like there was a lot of people not watching. So it did only make it 2 seasons. It was recently announced that it was canceled. But she's very like, she's a personality. She's always showing up with like huge fashion, big dresses. Like she's gonna give a lot. I don't know how far she's gonna go. Like I really like, unfortunately I don't know a ton about her. I think she's very smart. I know she owns a business. I think she had a very interesting upbringing, but I don't know much about like her storylines and how she interacted with a lot of the other housewife women, unfortunately, to say whether or not she's gonna go far. But I think she's definitely better picked than Robin.
Strictly vibes. I felt it. I'm like, Robin's not it. For
No,
me,
she's not
it
it.
might be for you guys.
Just like in general.
Might be for you guys.
I don't know anything about
Yeah.
Chanel. She looks beautiful. So, and I like personality. So hopefully if she was the big personality from Dubai, she can give us some good TV, because at the end of the day, I watch reality TV for good TV. So if she can give me a good TV moment, I will become a Chanel fan. And if not, well,
Yeah. Oh well, no harm, no foul.
yeah. So
I know that
Yeah.
Phaedra did film a little bit for season 2 of Real Housewives of Dubai, and I do think she and Phaedra got
Okay.
into it. They did not get along.
Ooh.
And I think, Phaedra won the war of the words, at least from like the stuff I saw on like Watch What Happens Live or from BravoCon. So I will say that. But she did try and come for Phaedra, it sounds like. Whether that means anything or not, I don't know.
I was doing a little research on her, and it does seem like she'll be coming in with like a big message on rights in other countries. Just looking at a bit of her Wikipedia page, she was like sold to be married at the age of 14.
Wow.
So very dark like background there. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I know she had a very interesting background. Like I said, I don't know all the details. Obviously, that's crazy. But I think she's a good addition. It's kind of sad that show got canceled because I think she would have been one of the good personalities coming out of Bravo, like holistically. But who knows? Maybe she'll do something else. Maybe she'll
Welcome
get
to
it
the
from
team,
Traitors.
Chanel.
Welcome. I like her.
Finally, a housewife.
Yay.
A chance of winning for Isaiah.
We'll see. We'll see. Javier, who's next for you?
All right. So again, I'm picking people who I think, well, that's not true. Well, I'm gonna pick someone who I kind of know from when I used to watch wrestling back when I was younger. So I'm gonna go with Nikki Bella from the Bella Twins.
Okay.
They were twins.
Do I know anything about Nikki Bella? No, because I didn't watch wrestling when she was on it. But I was reading online, she was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. I used to see her a lot. I don't know if she still wrestles, but she had her like own spinoff with her sister.
She did.
I know like my nephew growing up would watch wrestling, and I would see her a lot like as one of the faces of like women in WWE. So it seems like she's like an important figure for that. So power to her, because I know that was like a big movement, especially when I was younger watching wrestling, like to get like women respected in the wrestling field, and it seems like she was. So maybe she'll be like a strong player, but I'm picking her because I kind of know a little bit about her just based on like watching WWE back in the day, and that's all I can go off at this point. And she's the first person from WWE, so it's a very interesting pick. I don't know how she's gonna do, but we shall see.
I think this is actually a really good pick. I don't know much about her from WWE. I didn't watch her spinoff, but I know there were like a couple of spinoffs. Like she had one with her sister, and then I think another one because she got married or something. I don't know. But I do know she's been in the reality TV world for quite a while outside of WWE. She also hosted, I think, a Love Island, like the official Love Island podcast this season. So like and I think she either has a podcast or a radio show or something like that. So she's like out there in the world, sort of like Wells and like Bob from The Biggest Loser. They become like more media personalities than what they were originally known for. And I think that takes a lot of like prowess for just like being able to make connections and put your best foot forward and be able to like network like that. So I think she'll do a good job making connections with people in the castle. So I think she could actually go pretty far.
I'm familiar with like some WWE stuff. She's not one of them, but I feel like people are always like afraid of these WWE people because like these caricatures they play. But then like I remember what was it, Celebrity Big Brother? It was like Natalie Eva Marie or whatever. Like she was on that.
I always get her confused with that girl.
She wasn't like bad, but she wasn't like good. But like for a while, I thought she was going to do very solid. You know, so it's like, oh, okay, like she's like a regular person. We actually don't know what she's like because she plays a character. You know, so let's see how she does. I think out of the oddball random picks that we could have had, this is probably one of the better ones that was on the board. So not a bad pick at all.
Any thoughts, Cheyenne, on Nikki Bella?
No, honestly, it looks like a lot of her achievements were crowned 10 years ago when she was #1 like female wrestler. She was named like Diva of the Year.
Yeah.
So that's kind of crazy history in TV. I personally don't think she'll go very far. She's pretty much at the bottom of my list, unfortunately. I've seen one other season with a wrestler, and she was literally just like a vote until mid-season. So just going off of that and what I
almost
see
feel like
here,
it's a disservice to like credit her only for wrestling because I do feel like she's done so much on TV since then that like Isaiah, to your point, like wrestlers are playing characters, but we've seen her on reality TV and like doing other things, so we like actually know who we don't because we don't watch it, but like people out there, like her real personality is out there. No shade to her, I'm sure she's great, but like, you know, we're not watching her and her sister on some E show.
I mean, connections alone, I don't think that she'll get far. I don't know anything about her. So I don't really have any thoughts. No, sorry.
Let's see.
All right.
The wrestling half of me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but all right. Oh, it's me. Oh, crap. Oh my God, I have to pick two. Oh, I'm really left with a mess here. Okay, I'm gonna just go for it. And I'm picking Zac Efron's brother. I don't even know his name.
Okay,
Dylan?
okay.
Is his name Dylan?
There's no Dylan on my sheet.
Dylan, yeah.
Tom?
Dylan.
It is Dylan.
Dylan.
Oh.
Looks like we're all in this together.
Oh, I did not see.
I Googled this guy to see if he did anything else other than be Zac Efron's brother, and the answer is no, from what I got. Like, I guess he's on Zac Efron's show sometimes. He has a social media following, and I guess he's also a producer. So I guess that's something. But like in front of the camera, I don't really think he's done much on his own. But I liked him in the preview that I saw in the first 7 minutes, and I think it seems like he has a good personality. He could be like he doesn't seem like nerdy like Bergie, but like he seems like he could like just mesh well with people. Like he could find a group, he could stick with the group, and he can mesh well. And he doesn't have any like pre-existing anything, it seems like. But I do think he said he was a fan of Big Brother and Survivor, maybe. I'm trying to remember what he said in the preview, but it did seem like he was familiar with the people on the show, which I think could be good for him. Who knows? I feel like I have a Bravo, I have a Big Brother. Do I have Big Brother? Yes, I have Big Brother, I have a Survivor. I had to pick a random, and he's my random.
Hey,
and I'm not picking Britney Spears' ex-husband. Sorry, it's not happening.
Well, I mean, Katie, he didn't get an unnecessary jaw surgery, so you should be fine with this one.
That's true. He's better looking now than Zac Efron because Zac Efron looks crazy. So
looks like Frankenstein.
Yeah, he looks.
All right, a good pick.
Thank you. We'll see. Maybe he's our winner. Who knows?
Period.
I forgot he existed.
Yeah.
No thoughts, no feelings from me.
No thoughts. The other thing I will say, I like Claim to Fame. Obviously, the show is not Claim to Fame, but this is, you know, has a famous brother. But I like the bonus Jonas on Claim to Fame, whatever not Kevin Jonas, the other host, Frankie Jonas. I like Frankie Jonas. Ponyo. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good for him.
I mean, that's a bit different.
So I like Frankie Jonas, so I feel like maybe
removed.
Yeah. But like maybe he could be sort of similar to Frankie Jones. I don't know. I'm just picking things to say.
We with it. Let's get it.
He does look very sleazy in this photo.
He does. This is not a good photo, but he seemed like more normal in like the preview. I don't say normal. He looks normal here, but like he just seemed like he was not as sleazy. So So we'll see. He also seems very athletic based on the quick Google I did, which to Cheyenne, to your earlier point about like not having a lot of like strong guys that can carry them, the women through the challenges, like maybe he'll stick around because of that. And maybe he won't be too much of a strategic threat, so they'll want to keep him. Who knows? We'll see.
They're going to need at least 3 dudes to carry the things, you know?
Yeah, these challenges are physical. Like,
and they've gotten
majority
more physical, I feel like, as they're trying to compete with the challenge, the show. I feel like more explosions, heavier lifting, more like multiple part challenges.
And I'm watching the UK, and what they have done every season so far is take the same challenges from the same season of Traitors UK and apply them to US. And the first few challenges on UK have been physical. So I don't know if they're going to do them in the same order, but they will. Who knows? If it seems like they will have them. So I have another pick, and I think the only
right?
My last pick. Yeah, it's my last pick. We're not going to pick the dog whose name I know we know the dog's name, but I forget the dog's name. So the dog can go to the chat unless someone actually wants to pick the dog. But I'm gonna.
Oh my god, the dog actually have his own thing. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I have to with Boston Rob because I don't want to pick any of these people. And Boston Rob, I think Boston Rob is the most overrated Survivor player of all time. I think he's overrated on TV. I don't like Boston Rob. I'm not rooting for Boston Rob, but I would be silly to say that Boston Rob is not good at games like this and that Survivor players have not been successful at this show. And I could see if he does. We don't even know if the man gets into the castle based on the preview, but I have a feeling if he's in the cast photo, he's there. Why else would they put him here? I don't know. I think Boston Rob has a way of making it far, and I think he's going to make it far in this game, especially if they make him a traitor. I just feel like they always take these big personalities and they made Suri a traitor. They made Dan a traitor. I could see Boston Rob being a traitor. Obviously, Dan didn't do well, but Suri did really well. So it's like he could go either way, and I would be silly not to pick him, especially with everybody else left on the board. So it's Boston Rob for me.
Personally, I do not think that he'll be in the house. I don't think they'll let him in. I
think they would be crazy to let him in.
Yeah, like I did my picks with the assumption that Rob will be turned away at the door. And I also say that because Don D is filming or premiering near the same time. And Boston Rob, is doing the after show for Don D. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, the idea of turning in watching Traitors and then watching Rob, it's like I just can't really see it happening. I don't think he gets in the house. I don't think he's overrated either, honestly. Watching his season of Don D, watching him fight with people and still make it through, like it's insane the things that he's able to get people to do. It's insane.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think he's gonna get in the house actually as well as Cheyenne, not because of anything I've seen, but I just don't think anyone in this cast, from what I'm looking at, would like take that heat just to like get.
How
Robin,
could Jeremy and Tony allow him to get in the house? Is what I don't understand.
Don't see it. Yeah, but even so, I do think I was gonna pick Rob. I think Rob. I get people saying he's overrated. I have a lot of respect for the way he plays. I think his strategy is so interesting to see. I think he has such a way of leadership and groupthink that like it's just very interesting. And, you know, everyone's like, oh, just one season, whatever. He does this like every one of his seasons, even if he doesn't win. The way he like implemented the buddy system in Winners at War and still got them all to dump their bags, even though they sent them home, they still did it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, like he is just like Jedi mind tricks, you know what I'm saying? And he's just so confident and like unfazed. So I think he's like the biggest face out of the CBS people to be on this cast. Even though we have a 2-time winner here, which is hilarious. Like the dude literally has like a face on an island for a Survivor, you know? So I think they would be making a fatal mistake if they let Rob in here. I don't think he would win because I feel like naturally the way he plays would piss people off. But I feel like, you remember Peter last season? I can easily see that being Rob this season. Like, I feel like he's going to hold court and no one's going to do anything about it. He's dealt with the crazies and he's dealt with the other leaders and big dogs. So I want to see Rob on the show. I don't think it's going to happen though, so we'll see. But shout out Rob. I'm excited to see that.
And one reason why I think he is properly rated is that we didn't even talk about his physical MacGyvering. Like, he has a background in construction work. He's weirdly good at everything, including shooting arrows, fishing, building things. He can probably do that one thing where they have to like flip that's terrible for an audio podcast. But there's so many weird physical tasks in Traitors for the Shield that if he is let in, I think that he is going to play a crazy fun game.
I have seen one of the other Survivor seasons I've seen is Survivor Marquesas. So I have seen Rob play, and he did not do well on that season. So I don't have a positive view of Rob. This man took 4 seasons to win Survivor. Also not a good point for him. God. This man has been on so many reality shows and only won once and done well on one of them. Also not a good hit on Rob. But I really don't know him besides his one season of Survivor. And he was able to win. I don't know how he won. I don't know if he was like strategic that season. So it's hard to say because the one season I know of him was not a great showing. But maybe he'll surprise me. But I also don't think he'll be let into the house. I think someone is gonna say no way and like not do it. So if he gets in, I don't see him winning either because he's gonna be known because he's been on so many of these shows. So I don't really see it for Rob personally.
The appearance fee must have been good for Rob.
Listen, if Rob gets in, he's going for like the Dylans and Ivers and Wells and like these people who are just like not connected with anybody. But like you, even though I have respect for his strategy, I agree with you, Javi. He's extremely overrated. But I mess with his strategy. He's not a great player, but I also think he's like overhated for like he doesn't get credit for what he does well. You know what I'm saying? Like
I'm a hater.
I do think he's a good. I know you are, and it's all right. I still have respect for him, but I also don't hate on anyone for be like he's not good because I understand both sides, But like,
is it like the abrasiveness like that you don't like about Boston Rob?
For me personally, I think I feel oversaturated by Rob. I think he got way too much. I think he played a good game in All Stars for sure. Obviously, Amber won, he didn't. I think that was his own fault because he made a lot of grave mistakes in that season. I think the season that he won, the season was built for him to win or for Russell to win, and Russell flamed out and Rob just got put on the better tribe and it was all recruits that just followed the lead of the people that knew how to play the game, and that's why he won. Like I don't want to say he was handed the win, he still had to do everything right, but I just feel like I came into Survivor late. I was not an early watcher, and then I binged all the seasons. So I knew Rob from like Island of the Idols before I knew like his gameplay. And to see his face, yeah, okay, he's played 100 times, but like he won and his winning game wasn't anything. Sandra's winning game was so much more impressive than Rob's, and she won the first time. Like to me, it didn't take 4 times for Sandra to win. She won twice. Like I don't know. He's overrated to me to be the face of Survivor. I think he has a little bit of a personality that I don't love. I don't know. I don't need to see him all the time.
Because I feel like if it was Cirie, everyone's giving it a pass and be like, Cirie's so great. We want to see Cirie back 1,000 times.
I mean, Cirie is great.
And Cirie's not
likable. To me is a better player than.
But she's lost how many times?
Well,
you've seen her play how many games? You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm saying. It's like
but she made it further than Rob every time.
I respect both of them for both of their like strengths. But I can also say they are both still overrated. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But there you go.
Yeah, Rob's on it for me. But he's on my draft, and if he's in, maybe he'll show us a good time. Who knows? But we'll see.
Yeah. Boston Rob definitely grew on me watching Deal or No Deal Island. Like I binge watched it in a week, and I gotta say, I wasn't a super big Boston Rob fan. I watched his original season, and I was like, this dude's out of control.
Yeah.
But I can definitely see him as a face, especially like watching other shows like Big Brother. I mean, Josh was a face. for a while. You
More too
know,
much
the
on Josh.
challenge. There
love
weren't
Josh.
always great faces.
My unpopular opinion is I love Josh. So
Oh, I love Josh, but no one would say he should be he's not the best winner. You know?
no.
Far from it.
No. All right, Javier, who from this crew?
I mean, we're left with
We're left.
Sam,
we're left
a
with
nightmare. Tom, from
Mhm.
what I've heard from you, Katie, a nightmare.
nightmare.
Robin, from what I've
Nightmare.
seen online, a nightmare. Didn't she just get fired from Potomac?
She sure did.
And then
And then this other man.
this other man who's British and I don't know. So I'm gonna go with Lord Ivar Mountbatten.
Damn it! What is it, bro?
Because
I think he's like the queen's cousin or something like that.
yeah, he was
Like
like part of the
third
royal
cousin
family.
removed.
Yeah.
And honestly, the only other reason I picked him was because last season, John, the little British man, was like actually well liked, and he actually had some good takes sometimes when he wasn't being like a bit grating. Because sometimes John was acting like he was very holier than thou, and like I don't like that kind of gameplay. But he actually did make it pretty far into the game. He made good relations with the Peter Pal, or he was one of the Peter Pals, which helped his game. So maybe Lord Ivar can also like get involved with someone and make it far into the game like the last British man who was on the show. So that's all I got for him.
Is always that group of like randoms that clumps up.
Yeah. So we will see. And the other three options don't seem appealing to me. I'd rather take the dog, honestly, if I could have.
I know. We should have taken the dog out just because it's giving us hope that we could choose him.
I'm crying.
But we can't.
But yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think Lord would probably be the best person left on the board.
I think so too. I think
I
that's
wanted
right.
him. I wanted Lord Ivor. I was about to like.
We're
I
all
would've
fighting
brought
over Lord
aura,
Ivor.
Who would have
so much aura to my team, bro. I'm so mad at him, God, bro. I like the British guy from last season. He was fire. So I was like,
so annoying.
Gonna carry it.
was
I
so
liked
annoying.
him. I thought he was funny. Bro, because he kept reading everybody for no reason. Like,
I mean, he was a little funny.
He
for
was,
sure.
but also annoying.
Very.
Yeah.
He was
So
really annoying
annoying.
at the reunion specifically.
Oh yes,
I know,
with
it's like
MJ. Was he the one who was
Yes.
beefing with MJ?
Yes.
and well, MJ was annoying, so I get it. I fully back him
MJ
on
is
that.
annoying.
But yeah, like he was bad. But listen, he was not wrong for a majority of the time. Like when they booted Peter, he was like, "You guys are weird. Like, why are you doing this?" I understand both sides. Like he was tripping, but was he really wrong? No, you know what I'm saying. So
I don't remember who MJ is.
She went to
Came
the
in
end.
second or third.
She got a little
You don't remember?
screwed.
That's good.
She got
was
screwed. The
irrelevant.
ending of last season.
Yeah, she got
She
screwed
was
over by
horrible.
Where they
She
were
was
like,
terrible.
"Nope, let's keep going."
Like she was obviously
Okay.
not a traitor. They just voted her out because they wanted
They wanted to split the
She
money.
was
between
terrible
them.
the
Yeah.
entire season. Okay, listen.
I remember.
I
Yeah,
would
she
have
was
been
pretty
just as
annoying.
bitter. I would have been just as bitter as her.
But John was more
Anyway.
annoying with his like holier thou thing, like
I
Yeah,
love
"We should do
John,
this,
bro.
Yeah.
I love John, bro.
Well, hopefully Lord Ivar is just as exciting as John. We'll see if he's
We'll
a
see.
personality. Isaiah, who's your last?
Who's left?
We have Robin
Sam.
Dixon. We have Sam, who used to be married to Britney Spears, and we have the infamous Tom Sandoval.
And who? Oh, Tom from Vanderpump Rules. Those
Mhm.
people have anger issues, but like, you know, like it's something, right? You know, so I'm picking Tom. I need some Vander. I know you watched that show.
Isaiah
You know what I'm
would pick
saying?
the
But
biggest
like,
menace left.
The biggest man,
listen,
absolute.
I don't know this
biggest
dude.
menace. You've never heard of Scandival?
The
It was like
winner?
a whole huge. This man is not winning. This man is not
He's
winning.
winning.
Already
like
in
a
the
What's the
villain.
preview,
background?
He looks
is,
so villainous.
yes.
there.
He is already in the preview. First of all, I can't even believe he was cast. And already in the preview of the 7 minutes that people were saying they didn't even want to say hi to him because he was there. Like he's just hated. He is from Vanderpump Rules. He was in a 9-year relationship, whatever, with Ariana Maddox, who's also in Vanderpump Rules, who went on to host Love Island, and she's like getting her bag in every way possible, which is great. He cheated on her with someone who was her very close friend, and it was like, for some reason, a world-breaking scandal. She was also on the show. She also was engaged to someone else that he paid for the engagement of DJ James Kennedy, who's also problematic, to this girl, Raquel. And then it ended up they were cheating behind everybody's back. And it was a whole mess. It was a whole mess. He like ruined his life, basically. He has a band called Tom and the Most Extras that he like pays his band members to be a part of. It's not even like a band they want to be a part of. They're like all hired.
I like that.
No, it's such a he's awful. He's just insufferable to watch.
Oh damn.
He's insufferable to watch.
Listen,
and everybody hates him. Like everybody hates
He's
him.
bringing mad aura. This is his redemption arc. Okay, this is a redemption arc. He's going to come out as a fan favorite. He's going to get a second chance at Hollywood. So fire pick, and he's bringing Matt Orr to my team. And y'all just mad y'all didn't get him.
Nope.
You know,
we could have picked him.
We could have. We just chose not to. We chose to pick the faceless, nameless men instead of
y'all are just sleep. But it's okay. Listen, we got a good pick. He's bringing greaser energy from. You know what I'm saying?
He's greasy.
So,
he's greasy energy. Greasy energy.
He's gonna slip his way. He's gonna slip his way to the end, and he's gonna be an amazing trader too. So shout out Tom. Welcome to the team, brother.
He's gonna be a mess. The one thing I will say about Tom is that I do think he's gonna bring mess to the show if he stays. Like I think everyone's gonna hate him, but he's not winning. There's no shot he's winning. Like there's no shot. He was also in Special Forces, and JoJo Siwa had to carry him on her back. JoJo Siwa had to carry Tom Sandoval on her back in Special Forces.
What is this sounds like great manipulation. I like this.
Little girl JoJo Siwa had to carry this grown ass man. She is.
I mean, isn't she 18 now? How old is JoJo?
Probably.
Siwa?
I don't know.
She's gonna be on this show one day. I'm telling you, JoJo Siwa is made for the trader.
Please no.
She's going through a midlife crisis herself. I'm good.
She's 21. She's so young.
Oh, I mean, yeah,
that's bad.
Jax says that he's still friends with Tom. He said they're best friends.
That's not a glowing review because Jax is
maybe
the only person that's worse than Tom Sandoval is Jax Taylor.
They're just looking for a reason to hate on my man, bro.
Ugh.
I'm a Tom stan. Let's go, Tom.
This is like when Isaiah picked Luke in Big Brother 20.
No, that's a little different. That's a little different. Luke.
At the beginning.
I actually thought. Listen, Luke actually had aura until he started talking about
Cheyenne.
Oh my god.
Luke had aura until he started talking about the cheese room, and then it went downhill after that. But like,
that was like day 4.
Yeah, or he was trying to save Jared. Come on now, like he was trying to save the black people, and he started talking crazy. Till then, like
you thought he was
had aura. So that's what I'm saying.
He had aura. I said 24. It was 25. Mess.
This is
the perfect pick for Isaiah's mess. So I feel like it's a good pick for you, Isaiah.
This is really my first pick, but I just I stole him right here. So
strategy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Cheyenne, you got 2 to choose from. Mr. X, Britney Spears, or Robin Dixon from Real Housewives of Potomac, formerly of Real Housewives of Potomac. She's fired.
Definitely gonna go with Sam.
Oh,
wow!
I'm shocked. I thought you were going to do Robin. I'm shocked. Me too, actually.
Robin gives crash out energy. I told you.
Ooh, rough.
Why do he look like that
Robin
now?
Dixon.
He looks better there, honestly.
Yeah, this guy's.
I'm just playing my odds with this pick because at most there's going to be 9 guys. Somebody's got to stay.
But can they win?
He's going to be like that guy from Bling Empire. And he's just going to be.
Yes, he is going to be like that guy from Bling Empire. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah. I was trying to think of which
one brain cell just knocking around in his head, doing that.
Yep.
Do you think they'll bring J-Lo's ex next?
Which one?
The
Jinx?
The dancing one?
The dancer.
Oh, Cass.
Oh, wasn't he on something? No. Was he on a show?
I feel like he was.
Why does Sam look like Danielle Durston?
Oh,
He looks so
Ew.
different
that's
in the picture.
disrespectful.
To who?
Well,
He
actually,
looks like
Sam is a terrible
search
To which
up,
one?
search up Danielle Durston when he's doing his Elvis impersonation. Tell me you don't look like him.
Wait, Loki is giving Elvis.
Yeah, he is giving a little Elvis.
He looks just like him.
So for Sam, for those who don't know Sam, he was married to Britney Spears. He's a grifter.
Oh,
I think he used her basically, right? I mean, but they had a prenup, so I don't really know what happened there, but it was when she was under the conservatorship. Then they got married and they got divorced. I don't know. They freed Britney.
So are you
let
calling
her
him
live
a
her life.
manipulator?
he's
No.
30. They
He
were
was
married
probably
for
on the
2
payroll.
years.
He was probably on the payroll.
Hey,
He's
he
a
knows how to
model.
get the bag. He knows how to get the bag. Okay.
He
He's
normally-
gonna get.
He didn't
The
look like
bag
this
and
before.
triggers.
This picture
Yeah,
of
he
him
looks
is
different,
like,
right?
Yeah.
I promise you, like this, like the only good thing I can say about Sam is that he was once like way more attractive than whatever's going on here.
Yeah, this is not a good. He-
People were, yeah, this is just not a good picture of him.
He looks like if anybody watched the original Gossip Girl, he looks like Chuck Bass in this picture.
Yes, I do.
That's
see
what I'm
Chuck
getting
Bass.
Chuck Bass energy from him in his cast photo.
I see bootleg Chuck Bass.
He's gonna be a great
bootleg.
trader.
Oh, he broke up
he's
with her
early.
when the conservatorship ended.
Yeah,
I think he
Sam
was
is
on the
kinda
legit. I think
slimy.
he was on the payroll. This is just my
It's
own
gonna be
theory. I don't know if that's based
Boston
on reality.
Rob, Sam.
Looks like he helped her.
It's gonna be Boston
did
Rob,
hate the
Sam,
dad.
and Tom. They're gonna be the traders. Y'all gonna be so mad, bro.
The crazy thing with Sam is that
crazy.
everyone was a team Sam until like towards the end of this whole. Everyone was like Sam is supporting Britney, blah 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 blah, and then it
Mhm.
turned out he was using Britney too, just like her
Yeah.
father was.
He came out against the dad, but he was also
Yeah.
using her. So like, I don't know.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
strange.
And guess what? He's going to be using people in the game and getting them out as a trader. And look, I'm
Yeah,
with
okay.
it. Shout out to Sam. He's going to
Mm.
do great.
I just wonder, like if this was swapping genders and this was like the ex-girlfriend of Charlie Sheen or something, I just don't feel like it would be as taboo of a pick, I guess.
Hmm.
It's like they were together for 2 years. They split up. He's 30.
I think it's because Britney. I think if he was with anybody other than Britney Spears, one, he wouldn't be on the show, and two, I think that's why people feel sensitive about it because Britney
Mhm.
obviously was going through a lot, and it seems like was taking advantage of the situation
Yeah.
that she was in.
Exactly.
Mhm.
He took advantage of someone
So
who was
he's getting the
vulnerable,
bag.
allegedly.
Exactly.
What do you think? Like, was he like stealing from her? Like,
I don't know enough about it to say one way. I'm not going to allege this man of things that I don't know that he did live on
yeah.
youtube.com and twitch.com. But I don't know. The vibes are not vibing for me with Sam.
Okay.
I don't know, Javier, if you know more about their situation.
No,
but it
you've
seems
said pretty much
sketch.
all that I know about him.
Yeah. Just so sketchy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
He's a
Sketchy is the best way to
grifter.
describe it.
He's just a grifter.
Which could be good on the traders. Maybe being sketchy will be
Could
good
be.
for him.
Could be.
But I think he has
Yeah, it
one
doesn't
brain
sound
cell.
like-
I think so too. I just think he's also like too known for being with Britney Spears that people are gonna be like, what's Britney Spears' ex-husband doing here? And they're gonna vote him out. Like, I don't see why they would keep him. What's he have to offer? Nothing.
Yeah.
Shout out to Robin Dixon. Did not get chosen, but we'll give her a quick overview. I can't believe no one chose Robin. It's actually hilarious. Robin is like the most boring housewife of all time. She gives nothing. She gave nothing. She was late to every event. She was sleeping all the time. She literally barely got out of bed. But she is married to Juan Dixon. Was married, got divorced, remarried him on the show. Juan Dixon was a former basketball player, and he was like coaching in college. They had a lot of financial trouble, which was actually pretty interesting to hear about on the show. But the problem is that Juan had all of these cheating rumors going on about him that she says didn't happen, but it's pretty obvious something was going on. And instead of addressing it on the show because it was going on while the show was filming, she and Giselle Bryant, who's like her partner in crime, went on their podcast to talk about it and then tried to charge people to listen to their Patreon episode instead of talking about it on the show that you're actually getting paid a paycheck to be on. Like, you gave nothing on the show whatsoever, but then you want people to pay for your Patreon to actually get what's going on in your life. So she's fired.
Switching out.
She's trying to get the bag.
She was, but like, get the bag from the show that you're getting paid to be on. That's the bag. That's a better paycheck than whatever your Patreon's giving on your reasonably
she's
shady
getting a paycheck because
podcast.
guess where she's at? Guess where she's at right now, Katie? She's in the Traitors Mansion right now. So she's
unemployed. She's unemployed.
That's crazy.
And her husband's unemployed because he got fired because he covered up a sexual harassment, assault, one of those two, scandal at the college that he coached for. So he and his wife are both unemployed. And they're and she's undrafted because no one picked her. So whatever you said about the vibes, Isaiah, you were right.
I mean, the vibes, you said that she was giving nothing on the show. She was definitely giving nothing in this. Like, I just wasn't.
This is a really bad picture of her. Like, what is this picture? What is she giving here?
I don't.
90s detective.
Javier, it's so funny.
She's her whole Housewives career, she's given nothing. Her first season and second season, she was okay. But she's
like adult
Giselle's bestie. Yeah.
She's here for a check, bro. She's here for a check.
Why is she wearing a jacket that blends with the background? Like,
it's not good. She looks like she could be on like a Lifetime or like We Network detective show.
Javier, did you watch Top Model? Did you watch Top Model?
Yes,
I could tell.
Why?
you were like
I'm commenting on the background.
I did that with the Sam guy too. You were like, he did not look like.
He did not. I promise you guys.
I would love to see Javier on a reboot of Top Model as a judge.
Oh my god!
Let's make it happen.
Law Roach will personally scream to you in your inbox.
Love Law Roach.
Yeah, it's like, make him a judge first.
Yes.
All right. Here's our draft. Let me zoom in for everybody that's watching us live, and I'll read it off for anybody that's listening to us on the audio. But Katie, has Jeremy, the winner, Brittany Haynes, Sierra from Summer House, Zac Efron's brother Dylan, and Boston Rob. Javier has Bob the Drag Queen, Chelle from Selling Sunset, Wells from The Bachelor, Nikki Bella from WWE / other reality TV, and Lord Ivar. Is that his name?
That's stacked.
Something like that. The British guy. Isaiah has Tony Vlachos, Danielle Reyes, Gabby from The Bachelorette, Chanel Ayan, and Tom Sandoval. Cheyenne has Dolores Catania from Real Housewives of New Jersey, Bob from The Biggest Loser, Dorinda Medley, the messy icon from Real Housewives of New York, Carolyn from Survivor, and Mr. X Britney Spears, Sam Ashgari, I think is how you say his last name. And then the chat, you guys have Robin Dixon. I'm sorry about it.
And a dog. You got the dog too.
And the dog. And the dog. The dog's a good pick.
The dog is a great pick.
The dog's
because guess who's going to be at the finale? The dog. And guess who's not going to
be right there with Alan?
The other like 18 of these people. So
it's very true. It's very true.
It's like everyone has an A-list group, but me.
Wait, are they going to be at the reunion? Oh no, you said the finale. I was about to say that's Andy Cohen, isn't it? But
yeah, I don't know if it's been announced, but Andy Cohen has done the reunions. I don't love it, but we could talk more about that as we get into the season. Any thoughts about our draft before we give our hopes for the season as we get into it?
Fire.
Listen, with the cast that we got, I feel like we have pretty well-rounded teams here. Everybody has a shot.
Yeah, I don't think anyone has a slam dunk win.
No.
I think my team is a slam dunk. I'm gonna be honest with you. I have a great team.
I'm kind of rooting for
one winner on this board.
I like my team a lot.
Wait, who shouted my team out?
Me.
Yes, thanks, Cheyenne. I love it.
Yeah, I want Bob to win.
I will say, now that we have all these pictures on here, I now get the cast photos, and the cast photos look really good in this little collage.
Yeah, I actually kind of like what they did with the.
At first, I didn't like it. Now I do.
I like that they're upping their game a little bit. They're like making it a little campy. That's fun.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if they give us anything new and exciting this season. I think I'm expecting some twists and turns and some changes to the game. I think we've seen that in some other seasons. Some changes. Even UK has a little bit of a different twist coming into it at the beginning of the season this season. So like I'm excited for some differences in the Traitors. The Traitors is a game that's very fun, but it gets a little bit repetitive if you watch all the seasons. There are a few that I haven't seen yet, but the gameplay does end up getting repetitive. So I like that they try and change it up. I hope that they do that more this season. Any other hopes? Javier, do you have any hopes for this season? Also, shout out to Janelle. Hi, Janelle. My co-winner from last season.
I think this is going to be the season where we're going to get a non-competitive reality TV winner. So I don't think Survivor Big Brother's taking it, and there's no one from the challenge. Like I think it's going to be someone from one of these obscure shows. They're finally going to put a traitor who I think they're finally going to do, or I'm hoping they do traitors who are not from these shows. Like I don't need more Survivor and Big Brother people being traitors. Like I want to see other people who are not social strategists play this game as a traitor. And I think this is going to be the season for that. So I'm hopefully optimistic that we're going to get some good twists this season and some different gameplay, because we're going to see people who are not these like reality TV competition stars being highlighted throughout the entire season. So that's my hope and my belief for this season.
Shout out to Valencia.
Always shout out. We love Valencia.
Thank you.
She's a queen,
really
icon, legend.
Yeah.
Cheyenne, any thoughts, hopes for this season? Anything you want to see, especially as a watcher of all the seasons? Are there any twists you hope we get?
Yes.
That we haven't seen yet in the US?
I love when they have to like give you the kiss of death.
I love it too.
I mean, they have it, you see it, but that's just one of my favorite challenges. It's just like, who are you gonna get? How are you gonna give it to them? Who's gonna die? Who has a shield? I'm waiting for that episode, especially.
Love it. Isaiah, any thoughts? Anything you want to get out of this
We'll
season?
see.
I know you're a little bit of like a low-key hater of this show. So what do you want to see
I
that
loved
make you
it.
not a hater?
I loved it the first season, and the second season I found a lot of flaws in the game's formula, because I thought the whole thing was like find the traitors, and if you got all the traitors then you win. And then I found out like it's like, oh, if you find the traitors, or you want to just keep replacing them. So it's kind of like, I don't know, because it's kind of encouraging this gameplay where it's like, oh, sabotage everybody and basically work with the traitors in the hope that the traitors are dumb enough to turn on themselves towards the end. I think it's kind of like backwards, because it's like 9 times out of 10, the traitors are probably going to win the season. But with this group, it's a little unpredictable. So like, I'm expecting a lot of these people not to know how the show works. I'm hoping on that. And I'm hoping for a lot of chaos. I want a lot of fights, and I want a lot more drama. So we'll see how it goes. I'm not coming in here for strategy. I'm coming here for a good time. So I'm ready for season 3.
I feel the same way. I don't come to the US for strategy. I come for fun. I think the beginning of last season was really fun. The middle got a little so I was ready for it to be over when it was over. And I just hope this one kind of like consistently keeps me interested throughout the whole thing. That's really all I'm hoping for. I hope we do see some twists and some exciting gameplay, but that'll just be a bonus if we get some drama.
Wow. Yeah, I guess I'm almost the opposite. I really do like the strategy of it from different sides. Even when they're completely wrong. I'd say the challenges are probably I'm on my phone the most. I don't really care for the challenges. I care for everything else. Yeah, the
challenges are the worst part of the show.
The worst part, 100%.
I skip the challenges every single season. I feel that.
I should correct myself. I come to the Traitors US for mess. I go to the Traitors International for strategy and like exciting gameplay, which I have found has delivered more consistently. Speaking of,
do you guys think they're getting tracksuits? Tracksuits.
I don't think so. I wish they would.
We need another Squid Games clone. Yeah,
they did tracksuits in Australia.
Oh,
yeah, I love those things.
Yeah,
it's like red team, blue team. Oh, well.
Yeah, that is fun. I will say,
excited.
Matt in the chat, shout out to Matt. UK's doing new stuff this season where the challenges finally matter. And I will say, I totally agree. And I like what they're doing in the UK.
Okay.
Making the challenges actually matter to like who gets to be eliminated or up for banishment and different things like that. Will they get to murder at the end? Will they not? How they gather the money versus other things. So it has been super interesting. And from what we've seen, the US and the UK have done pretty similar stuff throughout both their seasons. Especially the thing that I don't love about these two seasons that they always run in parallel at the same time. So it's like I watch the 3 episodes of the UK and then I get like the exact same challenge the next week in the US. So that makes it a little stale, but hopefully we'll switch that up this season. We'll see.
I'll give US some credit because it feels like the production team's actually like tapped in and like listened to the fans.
For sure.
So I'll give them some credit.
The only other thing I'm gonna say is I want good roundtables. I realize that's what I come for the Traitors. I don't watch all the seasons, but most recently, I watched Canada season 2, and that was a surprisingly enjoyable season because they had like pretty good roundtables, and I think that that's like the most entertaining part of the Traitors for me. So I think that's what I'm here for. Good roundtables. I need some good moments.
I need to watch that season.
Yes, guys. I recommend everyone watch Traitors Canada season 2. It was better than the first Canada season. It was better than US 2. I thought it was a really great season, and it has a great winner. And unfortunately, Katie and I didn't finish covering it, y'all, because of life. But everyone should go watch it. And this will be my endorsement to like go watch it. You know, now with US starting, I think it's long past our time to cover Canada too.
Yeah, it's okay.
But guys, go watch it. I recommend it. It was a good season.
Yes. Well, with that, we can go ahead. We could talk a little bit about our plans for this season. So we will be back every week to talk about the episode releases, most likely on Fridays because episodes come out on Thursdays. This week, there are 3 episodes coming out, but every week after that, it's just 1. They're doing the same thing that they've done every other season. So we'll be back. Isaiah and I will be here every week. Javier, you will join us anytime that you are available to join us. Cheyenne, the door is always open. You're always welcome to come back. And we'll bring in guests throughout the season as well. But we will be your faces this year for Signed to the Traitors, for the Traitors US. So we're excited. I'm excited to be back in the mansion. I'm excited to have some Scottish plaid on. I did my best. And that's that. So let's get to plugs. Yes, I love it. Isaiah, where can everybody find you?
You can find me on Twitter, Bluesky, and Instagram with 8 Ball Bangers. I was what was it? I am Vegas for a little bit, but my trolling there was done on Bluesky, so you can find me on there. I am here. My podcasting breaks over, covering this, and we are going to do our first podcast for Deal or No Deal Island as well. So we're going to be recapping that with actually me, Katie, Cheyenne, and Julia Pan. So that'll be very interesting. We're going to do that later this week. But yeah, I'm back. We're active again. Our break is over, and I'm very excited. So make sure you check us out. And also, if you play Fortnite, use my code 8BallBangers on there. It makes me money. Thank you.
Thank you. Cheyenne, where can everyone find you? I'm going backwards in the list.
Awesome. All right, y'all. Well, you can find me in the winner's circle when my team wins. Traitors. But yeah, I'm on Instagram, YouTube, Cheyenne New with a K because I am a know-it-all. Also, I have a podcast, the Variety Half Hour podcast. I've had Isaiah on. We did a little interview. I've done a couple others, most of it comedians because I do stand up. So if you want to follow me there, Instagram, you'll see any upcoming shows.
Love that. Javier, where can the people find you?
Yeah, so everyone, you can find me at _the Starboy on Twitter. Unfortunately, like Katie said, I won't be here for the first few weeks, but y'all are gonna have some great content from Katie, from Isaiah, and from any guests that they have on. I will be back later on. I'm very happy that they're dropping weekly episodes because that means I will be able to be here. I will be more active later on in the month/February. But I will be sad to not be here for the first few weeks, but I know they're going to hold it down and give you some great content. So please tune in and follow me at _the Starboard for my other thoughts until I'm back on for the last few episodes of the season later on.
Yes. And you can find me at Bluesky at realslimkatie.bsky.social. I am off Twitter. I'm off X. I'm still there if you want to follow me, but I don't check it. So I'm private. So you could request me. I probably won't see it. So don't bother if you don't want to, but my profile is still there. I just don't want anybody to take my handle, but I do not check that hell site anymore. I'm on Bluesky where the skies are nice and blue and cheery and better. So join me there. And we're there too on Silent Podcast. You can follow Silent Podcast there too. Just search us there. I've reskeeted a few times for Silent Podcasts. Check us out there. I'll be doing any promo for our podcasts on my Bluesky. Nothing from Twitter that you'll see from me. So check me out there. And I'll be on Deal or No Deal Island with Cheyenne and Isaiah and Julia this week on Wednesday, which will be very exciting. We're back in action. Like Isaiah said, our break is over. It's been a long break after Big Brother. But with no Big Brother Canada, we're excited to be jumping back into some other coverage of some other stuff. So excited to be back behind the mic. And you can find us on Silent Podcasts here on Silent_Podcasts on Twitter and on Instagram. And like I said, you can find us also on Bluesky. Search us there. It'll come up. You can follow us on Twitch and YouTube if you want to watch what we're doing live. I think we're also streaming on Twitter right now too on Isaiah's page. And you can please like, subscribe, listen to us on any of the audio platforms, leave us a rating or review, but only do so if you think we gave you 5-star content. You can only rate us once. So we really want to make sure you hold off until you hear something that you loved so much that you had to rate it 5 stars. We don't want any 4 stars. We only want 5 stars. So thank you guys. We will be back with Traitors coverage on Friday to talk about the first 3 episodes, and we'll be back on Wednesday to talk Deal or No Deal Island. Check out all the other great stuff going on Silent Podcasts and whatever all of our other creators are doing. Till then, we're out. Bye, guys.